All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely, lovely afternoon in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming to you regarding the prophet and the prophetess. I want to talk to you about the prophet and the prophetess. I want to say in time past, likened to today, in this day and time, they stand firm as yesterday as well as today. And I notice it's the same. Uh, there's something, everything pretty much is the same outside of the prophets of yesterday. Many of them were murdered. Well, today it's different. And another thing about today regarding the prophets and the prophetess is that they might not be murdered in the flesh. You see, they might not be murdered, what I mean, destroyed and killed in the flesh like yesterday, like time past. But a lot of them are murdered in the spirit. Okay. They're murdered in the spirit because they come to do the work of the Most High Yah. And it's so rooted in them to do just that, to where they get confused with really who they are, because they feel that, well, okay, maybe it's me. I'm not the one. Maybe I could be wrong and everybody else right. And that's the whole trick of the trade that's taking place in this day and time. Everybody wants you to look wrong so they can look right. That's a part of making wrong right and right wrong. And in days and time past, those individuals that the Father sent out among the people, the prophets, when he sent them out among the people, he sent them out as one. Okay. And when he sent them out, he used them as a mouthpiece. He speak unto them and they go say what he said. How many times do you think they had to come back to the face of Yah and go back with the same message over and over and over and over to the same people? This right here will blow your mind, how many times Yah sent the same prophet to the same person or the same people saying the same thing. Let's give an example. Moses and Aaron. How many times did the Father send Moses to go say to Pharaoh, let the people go? None. I'm going to show you something about that. 99.9 don't understand. Each time he sent Aaron and Moses to Pharaoh to tell Pharaoh to let the people go, the Creator, the Father in heaven, knew that it wasn't about letting the people go. But what did he do? Continue sending the prophets into Pharaoh to tell him to do what? Let the people go. So when they go to Pharaoh, Yah already in Pharaoh, had not in him, but Yah had already hardened Pharaoh's heart, so he won't let the people go. So why is this Creator sending his two prophets into the people? See, people are messed up totally 100% from the floor up. Each time he sent them prophets to Pharaoh, he already had hardened Pharaoh's heart to do what? What he sent them in there to tell him to do. See, mentally, people are disturbed. So, and they like to ride on this mental health, but they don't understand, baby. You don't even have to use that label. You mentally disturbed when you don't understand things in spirit and in truth. You mentally right there. You're mental. Now, Pharaoh and Aaron, they goes in to Pharaoh, not Pharaoh. Aaron and Moses goes in over and over and over to tell Pharaoh to let the people go. And each time, Yah had hardened Pharaoh's heart so he would do what? Not let the people go. So some people will tell some people, they really they dealing with the false prophet, because anytime someone at any time measure a prophet in any shape, form, or fashion, whether it's the false prophet or if it's the spiritual prophets of the Most High Yah, they're out of line. They are totally 100 out of line, because you would never find anything that tells them that they have the gift to be able to rightly divide which prophet is which. Let's continue. So when Pharaoh and Aaron, not Pharaoh, when Moses and Aaron goes into Pharaoh and tell him to let the people go, why did the father suffer them to go and tell him to let the people go when he knew that he was going to harden Pharaoh's heart so he would not let the people go? So what was y'all doing? Playing both hands. How about that? How about that? See, y'all don't understand that. He plays both hands, and nobody tell him when to use his left or when to use his right. He plays both hands. He is the wheel of his own way. So therefore, he can play the left and the right at the same time. This is an example right here. Moses going in with Pharaoh. And now Moses going in with Aaron. Who are they? Prophets of the Most High Yah, to tell Pharaoh to let the people go. Now, how was he playing both hands? Because he was hardening Pharaoh's heart, so he won't let the people go, while Aaron and Moses going in there saying, let the people go. He was using what? He was playing both hands, so that what? His word and his will be fulfilled. His word and his will be fulfilled. That's just like now. We thinking we rule this world. We think we in full control. No, baby. He playing both hands on your butt. You just too ignorant to know. Both hands carry the power, but you better watch out for the Father's right hand and his stretched out arm. Seriously, that's the one you're gonna fear. That's the arm. That's the hand you're gonna fear. That's the hand you should fear. So when I think about prophets and prophetess of yesterday and today, I realize they one of the same. Because when it all said and done, y'all can use his prophet to go tell someone something, knowing that it ain't gonna change the one he tell. These are the things I learned in the wilderness, y'all. I don't learn this stuff sitting here on YouTube listening to nobody or going to a sanctuary or a church and hearing these men talk. I don't learn this from the flesh of man. I learn it from the spirit of the Creator in the wilderness. Got me a place he got prepared that he have to teach me, because he know I ain't got no sense. I know I ain't got no sense either, but I don't care. That's the sense in the flesh. Pull up on the spirit realm. I'll mess you all the way up. Okay, so I sit back and I was thinking, you got people out there that just say who's the true prophet and who's the false prophet. I would like to oppose a question or answer to this question. What is your calling and what is your purpose from the kingdom? Did he call you to be able to rightly divide the false prophet from the spiritual prophet of the Most High God? You can. You know who can do that? Another prophet. Because he said we are subject to one another. That means the spiritual prophets are subject to one another. We should be able to call out the false prophets at a blink of an eye. But he's not calling people who are not a prophet to be able to tell the true prophet or the false prophet. You don't even know who you are. So how you gonna tell somebody who they are? So going back to that, the reason why I brought that up is because I was going over Jeremiah, and I realized just listening to Jeremiah remind me of myself. The Father can send you as his spiritual prophet to say something. And the ignorance of the people, whether they are part of the fivefold ministry, they are so ignorant. That's why I say you should never have a church, a group, an organization, and anything where Yah is the head. You better have you a prophet or a prophetess in there that is spirit and truth. I ain't talking about the fake ones. I'm talking about a prophet that is not under your power and your control, where they can also speak unto you as a leader or as the head. They can still speak to you and get through to you. But see what has happened? They have locked so much down to where people think that their gift is to determine who's the false prophet and who's the spiritual prophet. I wouldn't want anyone to get into a situation doing that, because he said, touch not my anointed and mean them no harm. He's you know what he's talking about too? Your mouth. Okay? He's talking about your mouth as well. Because your mouth, it can be like unto what he said, a weapon. But it's a weapon that you're going to find yourself hurt from, your own weapon, when you step into the realm of trying to pinpoint who's the false and who's the spiritual. Now, if you're a spiritual prophet, all prophets and prophetess should know who you are. If you are a false prophet, Sister Deborah gonna know it. She might not say nothing to you, but I'm gonna know it. So what I'm saying to you all is the way the Father orchestrated this thing, and I just said it in so many words, he played both hands. He plays both hands. He played the one hand for Moses. Aaron, go tell Pharaoh to let the people go. And the other hand say, I'm going to harden his heart so he won't. So why are you sending him there to say it and then go in here and say to him, don't? Come on now. He plays both hands. Why? He rules the will. Who will? He is. He plays both hands. You think Cain could have killed Abel if both hands wasn't played? Come on. Y'all don't know the one I serve. You think, now listen to this. The same one, now watch this. The same one put the tree of life in there. Did not he put the tree of knowledge of good and evil at the same time? Playing both hands. Playing both hands. Don't mess with the creator in the kingdom. He that holds all power. He can play both hands anytime in any way that he wants. One hand is going to pour out grace and the other hand going to give you mercy. Set your tails down. You don't rule that. You see? This is the power of the one that's the true and living creator. He rules on that standard. So I'm like saying, okay, if you got prophets going out and you're having them to tell the people one thing, you already know that they're not gonna listen. I know that. Playing both hands because of who he is. He plays both hands throughout it all. Because when he put two trees in the garden, the same one put the tree of life, put the tree that leads to death. Wake up, people. He plays both hands. The same one built and created the book of life also created the book to the lake of hell. Wait a minute, it's in the same hands that built the heavens and the lake of fire. Show you right. Don't mess with him. I always used to fear as a little girl. How can I fear you? How can I fear you? Oh, he's this. Oh, you this, you know. Oh, it feeling nothing because I was innocent. I was a baby, y'all. I ain't had no reason to fear him. For what? He was my all in all as a little girl. But as I got older, I said, wait a minute, hold up now, hold up. Hold up now, hold up now. Who's this? Wait a minute, hold up. He's worthy to be feared. He ain't nothing to be messed with. But do you think these people on this earth care? They don't give a rat's behind, but they will. I said to the Father years ago when I was a teenager, what? Did you say the best for last? You will. Because right now, everybody, it's like the calm before the storm. It's like the calm before the storm. But I just say to him, I thank you for allowing me to understand you the one that make it calm and cause the storm. Playing both hands. He's worthy to be feared. So if he sends Sister Deborah, and what he gives me is spirit and truth. And that's more so lately. Back in my teenage years, he should show me things that's going to happen. Things that's going to happen to people. He used to let me read. I could see a person and know what they tomorrow was going to be like. You see? Or know what they thinking. You know, stuff like that. I had all that invested in me. All that good stuff. But today, it's the strange way of what he's doing. It's a strange way. I can see him starting from A to Z as the beginning and the end, as they say, Alpha and Omega. I can see that. I can see it like A to Z. You see? But according for it to get to A, in for it to leave A and be successful, making it to Z, you got to put something in there to uphold the whole wheel. There you go. He poured out twos. I gave him grace and mercy, Deborah. Let him chew on that for a moment. And that's what we're chewing on, his grace and mercy. While his wheel, A to Z, is rolling on in. Only thing different is people didn't trust his A, nor do they believe that there's a Z at the end of this. They saw his beginning, but they give a rat's behind of his end. That's where we're at today. That's the mindset of people. They can't even, when people talk about Torah, I think they clowns. I think their parents and those who gave them the deep study of Torah caused them to run into Torah and master the whole thought pattern of what Torah is. But the truth be told, let me tell you something. Torah is the product of today that was hidden in yesterday. Why would you mean, Deborah? It was hidden. It was hidden. And today is revealing that yesterday was where it all started. Mm-hmm. We can't make today worse than yesterday as if today started what we see today. Oh, no, 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 no. What you see today is a product of yesterday that was hidden. All that stuff, y'all, was hidden. Even to today. They done took so much and smeared in this book to do what? To hide it. It is so much. They didn't add it to put certain words to lie. Why? When did they do that? Did they do that today? No, that was yesterday. And I'm not speaking of that part of yesterday as far as back what they call old. With Sister Deborah, there's no old, no new. Until you come down to somebody like me. I was once young and now I'm old. That stands there. But when it come down to the creation of the Most High Yah's right hand from A to Z, that thing is real. And it ain't holding up on no new. And it ain't holding up on no old. It's going straight on through while we sitting here clowning. thinking we know everything. So I was sitting here just listening to Jeremiah, and let me kind of say to you all, when the Father, you all must understand this, when you're entertaining false prophets over the spiritual prophets. And the sad part is it's a gigantic difference, you guys. It's a big difference from the false prophets to the spiritual prophets. The spiritual prophet ain't gonna be laughing, grinning, and with you. You're gonna see them serious as serious can be. The false one, they got all kind of gimmicks, all kind of ways to get around you, to favor them, to like them. Oh, don't let them get on that prosperity. Oh, you're gonna have a better day than today. Or you're gonna gain this. He's gonna bless you here. You know, all these things that they tell you, the fake ones assure you that the Most High Yah is not who he is. He's much sensitive toward your emotions and your feelings. He's going to do this. He's going to give you this. You're going to have this. And you come on, pull up any of that ever out of a prophet that the Most High Yah sent on the earth. Pull it up in that A to Z book. You ain't going to find it. That's one of the difference between the fake prophet, the false prophets, and the spiritual prophets. The false prophets is going to tell you, come on, go over here. Let me show you. It's right over here. Let me show you how this done. Let me teach this and preach this. It's over here. They're going to give you all those sort of things to make you think that they got it where they at. Come, let me show you. Here it is. See? Hear this video. Let me tell you, he's going to do this. No, y'all, it's not a prophet on this earth that's called by the Most High Yah is coming to give you good news. How you like me now? They ain't coming to give you no good news. They didn't then, and they ain't now. They didn't then, and they ain't now. These are the true servants of the Most High Yah, and they ain't going to be kiki in your face. They ain't going to be reasoning with you in a way that's making your feelings and your emotions comfortable. You see? True prophets is going to come in with a word. And the word might be something you have heard, but it ain't going to be the fullness of what you heard. You're going to tap into what they say. And then you also see that they brought you a token of something you didn't know, or something that you had no idea. See, that's because, if you knew it all, why would he send a prophet? Why would he have anyone to be down here, his servants, the prophets? Why? They'll tell you another thing. A lot of people will tell you, watch this here. Yeshua was the last prophet. There's no other prophets that the Most High have sent. So watch this here. So you hear a lot of people talking about that. You'll never find the Most High sending any prophets because Yeshua was the last prophet. Now we don't need prophets. But wait a minute, hold up. Tell me this book. I'm going to go past Genesis, but I'll go to Deuteronomy. I might scoot over to Leviticus, all the way down. It's telling you about the false prophets that's going to be. Why is it false prophets on the earth today, but there's no spiritual prophets of the Most High God? That's how sick the minds have gone. That they ain't gone there. They've been there. They just want people to believe that they are somebody you should listen to when it come down to knowing the false prophets from the spiritual prophets. And they know neither one because they are not a prophet themselves, nor are they anything, because they don't know who they are. All they know is they're making a fool out of you. So I think about that. I say, okay, all those prophets you sent down here, Father, those were not their words. And no one, I said, but Father, they never thought of it. They never, even to today, people don't think that wait a minute, when he had the prophets of yesterday, they weren't doing nothing on their own. No, they didn't go talk to the people or mingle with the people and play with the people. drink with the people, smoke with the people, eat with the people. They didn't do all those things. None of them participated. Why do you think Moses didn't go down there and really rumble with the people? Aaron wasn't supposed to, but when Moses went to the hill, he kind of got in trouble doing just that, trying to please the people. But it's Yah's prophet is to come in, to have to be ready to when I put a drop of token in you, you speak that warning, you speak that word that I revealed unto you. It's either the warning or you speak what I have revealed unto you, to the people. That's it. That's it. That's how they did back in the days. But what happened to them? They got killed. They murdered them. Just because y'all say, go tell them this, that prophet would go, God said, Yah, the word of Yah said, the word of Yah said. It always said the word of Yah. That shows you this book can't be the word. They go back to the people. The word of Yah said this. The word of Yah said that. The word of Yah said this. The people hate them. They turn back around, go this way. Yah say, go back again and tell them Thou said this. Prophet goes this way. The word of Yah said this. The word of Yah said this. The word of Yah said this. Then he get locked up. Then when he get out, he's going back over here. And the Most High said, go tell them this. He go to prophet again. To the what? The multitude. The multitude. Thousands of people. Thus said the Most High said this. Yah word said this. The word of Yah said this. Here we go. Go back to Yah. Go tell them this. Here we go again, y'all. To the people. The word of Yah said this. The word of Yah said this. They stone them. Throwing things, beat them, and kick them out. He goes right back to Yah. Yah say, go back and tell them this. The prophet says, the word of Yah said this. Come on, y'all, let's kill this thing. They kill him. So who gonna tell me you know the false prophet from the real prophet? You don't know nothing. You know you need to get your tail somewhere and sit down and shut your old rolled out mouth because you don't know nothing. There's too many prophets lost their life because of the same mouth that you got on you told them that he wasn't a prophet then of Yah, and they killed him. So they lost their life because of the same old trash of those who don't even know their purpose in Yah. They couldn't even tell you, well, what's your purpose? YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. Wait a minute. You really believe you're a YouTuber? Came from heaven to be a YouTuber? Oh, that's your purpose. That's how screwed up their heads are. That's how screwed. Oh, but they think that's one of the administrative position, YouTube. Because they've been on here 20 years. Oh, I'm a YouTuber. That's my calling. That's my purpose. Then they run around. Now watch this, y'all. Let me show you how deep this is. They'll take their position on YouTube as a teacher, a pastor, a preacher, a minister, a bishop, an apostle, a priest, a Maureen, a seer, a watchman. They'll do all that trash on YouTube. Then the father say, okay, what is your purpose? Oh, I'm a watchman. Okay, who called you to be a watchman? You called me from heavens. I know I'm a watchman. Okay, well, what are you watching? And why do I need you? They wouldn't even be able to answer. Because one thing they didn't understand, YouTube ain't where you're supposed to be watching. You're supposed to be in the body of Hamashiach. And the truth be told, the body of Christ don't need no watchman. How about that? Watch that. How do the head of the church, head of the body of Hamashiach, need you to be a watchman for the body of Hamashiach. Ain't that's what the head is? The overseer. Christ is the head, which is Hamashiach is the head of the body. Well, who is the body, Deborah? The church called saints. Saints call the church. So who are these people calling themselves all these positions from the kingdom on this here devil platform? They are the devil, have claimed themselves to have positions and got y'all bent up and down, got y'all acting a clown, like they all adding something. Now one of them ever questioned them. Okay, who called you to be the watchman? Who called you to be a seer? Who called you to be anything? And where are you at? On YouTube being there? Come on now, y'all. Somebody needs to talk to me. You all that on YouTube, trying to be all that on YouTube? Who told you was a pastor? And how did the pastor get past the apostles, the prophets, and the evangelists? How did you succeed them and you over everything? Where did that come from? See what I'm saying? These are people who have made their own positions. They are what you call spiritually out of order, and it's okay because they didn't belong in the spiritual order no way. How about that? How you like me now? You didn't belong in the spiritual order no way. That's why you're over here clowning in the flesh, taking all these positions, trying to claim to be something that you'll never be because you've been clowning on this devil platform for too long. And none of it has been given my Father the glory, nor the honor, nor the praise. None of it has exalted his mighty name. None of them have caused anyone to even desire to go in his way. They just following your page. They just following your videos. They ain't following the Most High Yah, because if they were, round about now, they've been ran away from you because they know the way. Because you ain't showing them no way, none whatsoever, but the way to your page, your videos, your likes, your subscribers, your purpose of being right on this devil platform. And that's that check that you look forward to. But yet, you on the, watch this here, the 5-4 ministry that's called to the body of Hamashiach. Even them themselves has a head, which is Christ, Hamashiach. So who are you heading? The world. And the world got you thinking you somebody. And this is what makes a lot of them turn around and say, well, this one is the false prophet. This one is the real prophet. Sit your tail down. Ain't nothing real about you. Because if it was, you would tell the truth and shame the devil that you ain't who you think you are. And that's the sad thing. I remember when I went to Georgia. I mean, the first thing, I know I shouldn't have did that, but it worked so well. Oh, y'all, it worked so well. People would approach me, not even knowing me. They knew who I was. You know, first thing, I didn't do this on my own. This was also said to me. So I just took it as if, use this here. I used it. People approach me. I let them talk, let them say who they see, what they see, who they think I am. And you know the first thing I say? What is your calling? What is your purpose in the body? What are you supposed to be doing in the church? What is your purpose? What is your calling? Guess what? I don't know yet. I don't know. But wait a minute, hold up. How you don't know and you got a congregation and don't even know who you are in the body? They just didn't know, but they got a church. You know, it's just the strangest way of how, and they call it the Bible Belt. You know what? I believe, and this mailman, me and him had such a good time. We laughed and laughed, but this man started crying. He said to me, he said, so, Miss Deborah, you don't know that you're in the Bible Belt. I said, what's the Bible Belt? He said, now it ain't me. That's what they call it. They call Georgia the Bible Belt. I said, you want me to tell you the truth of the whole matter? They need to take that belt they call Georgia and get a whooping they haven't received. Get their tails whooped. How about that? That man was laughing so hard. He was crying. I remember that man was crying. That's what Georgia needed. A tail whooping. Bible belt that. How you like me now? Bible belt that. Talking about you a Bible belt. Get your tail. Yeah, somebody need to take a belt and beat y'all tails. That's what you need. That's the problem. Get down there and seeing all of what they do. It didn't take me number 2 weeks to know that I was in an unknown land. I'm like, Father, y'all, you saw me here with these kids. You had me to come here. And he still wouldn't answer me. One day he came and he said, I was crying and I was saying, I'm leaving. I'm going back home. I'm going back from where I come from. I heard a voice say, Deborah, what's wrong? Oh, and I'm just all on the floor crying and hooping. The Father told me, your tears is like icicles to me. Oh, he shouldn't have said that to me. That was about 18 years ago. And guess what, y'all? I still remember that. I don't hoop and holler like that no more, y'all. No, because he's letting me know. Cry all day and all night. It don't mean nothing to me. Them tears of the flesh don't mean nothing to the Most High, y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all, it doesn't mean nothing to him. All that hooping and hollering don't mean nothing to the Most High, y'all. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, saw all this going on in Georgia and couldn't figure out. I said, now, I didn't come here because I wanted to come. You sent me here. But I had to clear up my face and everything because he told me, your tears is like icicles to me. That was a sense of letting me know. Cry all day and night. I'm not moved. Heaven's in the kingdom where I reside and who I am, not moved by your tears. So wipe it up, come back around again. Let's talk. But once you get that together, and you think I wouldn't. But back to the prophet and the prophetess. A lot of people don't understand, and they ain't going to. It's too late. It's over. It's finished. If there are prophets of yesterday, and you see how they lost their lives because they was over here on this side doing what? Hearing what I said, the Most High, y'all say to them, then they'll go what? Go over here and tell the people. And the people would be against them. Then they go back on over here after they tell them, go back to Yah. Yah said, go tell them this. And they still against her. Then they get locked up. Then they get thrown, beaten. Wait a minute, hold up, Father Yah. Why are you sending this prophet over to this multitude of people? Deborah, I'm playing both hands being played. What? So when y'all running y'all mouth and don't know, true prophets are played in both hands of y'all. Both hands. And I'm tell you exactly what the sick ones, the mental ones would say. If the prophet says something and it don't come true, then that's when you'll know that they're a false prophet. Want me to show you how foolish they are? When y'all sent the prophet here to tell them this, and they beat them up, they come back here. Y'all send them back again. They lock them up, send them back again. They kick them out of the city. Wait a minute, hold up, Father. You sending them to tell the people, and the people whooping their tails, locking them up. But you sending them to them. But Deborah, I'm playing both hands. I can do that. This is my will. Because watch this here. Y'all say, now go tell them that's the word of y'all said. Here this prophet go. Going into 10,000. God said, y'all. God said the word of y'all came unto me and said, oh, better kill him. They did. Wait a minute, hold up. That's your prophet. But you sent them to these people. You mean all that time you sent them prophets, you knew they was going to get murdered. Yeah, Deborah. Didn't I say, fear him? You're supposed to fear him because he don't play. You're supposed to have a fear of Yah. That's why he plays both hands. He ruled his sign. That's his will, not yours. I know they teaching y'all, claim it and name it, and it's yours. Okay, go out, take your tail out there and claim it and name it. Good luck. So I'm like saying, I'm gonna show the example. I'm gonna show you me too, y'all. So what happened? Prophets after prophets lost their life doing the same thing. Y'all just sending in the teller. So don't ever listen to somebody tell you who's the false prophet and who's the spiritual prophets. Because the spiritual prophet is going to be telling the truth in spirit and truth. Okay? And ain't nobody going to listen. The false prophet, even the one that is calling them false, they would hear them. They would hear the false prophet, and many follows behind the false prophet. They hear it them speak. That's the difference, you guys. That's the difference. That's a huge difference. And when you want to really know who's who, when it come down to those positions, especially the positions in the body of Hamashiach. You know how you gonna know? Because this here, if you got an apostle over here, you're gonna see him with 100 members. When you look over here, you're gonna see this apostle with 6 churches, and each church got 4,000 members. You get the difference? That's why that gate is narrow. 2 gates, one to a narrow and one to the broad. Always connect that to he that is born of the spirit, he that is born of the flesh. Satan's seed, spiritual seed. The seed of darkness, the seed of light. You see? Same way with the 5-4 ministry and those who represent Yah. So I do get a kick out of those that's coming up and have came up about the chosen. Okay? I do get kind of a kick out of that because a lot of the words they're saying are true, but they are hurting people. They are people who's hurting. Why? Because they got all this light in them, but yet they have to sit amongst darkness and watch darkness cut up from the floor because they are the chosen one to sit in light. So they the chosen one sitting amongst darkness, but yet ain't nothing they can do but be the chosen one. So they get on these devil platforms telling you who the chosen one is. Most of them I've seen, they nailing it. They nailing it. That's what make them the chosen one. They're set aside, y'all, to sit in light, to watch everybody sitting in darkness get magnified and glorified, honored, boosted, supported. While you sitting over here, the true light. You're chosen to sit in that light. You're not chosen to sit in darkness. There are those who chose to sit in darkness, live in darkness, and die in darkness. That's why they keep getting broader. So when let's go down to the administrative position, you start with an apostle. Okay? You're going to have many following the fake apostles, putting them up on pedestals. Oh, he did. But the true apostle, you ain't going to have very many supporting him. Matter of fact, you ain't going to have none supporting him. You ain't going to have nobody uplifting what he said. Because what he's saying, he's magnifying Yah and not magnifying the world. Trying to show people who all I am. I baptized this many here and this many. Baby, you can baptize the devil as many times you want. It don't mean he gonna enter back into the kingdom. How about that? But here you go over here, and if you get the prophets, the same thing with the prophets, no doubt. You ain't gonna get no one to follow the true prophets. You'll get the multitude to follow the false prophet. That's another difference where you know the difference. That's how you can pinpoint who's who and what's what. Over here, you do the same way with the pastors. A true pastor that represent the Most High Yah in the body of Hamashiach. He's in the body. Or she's in the body. They can't be represented from the world. The world ain't gonna They represent Yah. So you're going to have 100 over here, 2 million over here. That's how it's rumble, y'all. But what the world do, they look at the multitude of how many people all on this side, and then look up on this side and say, oh, well, no, they can't be the true one because they ain't got no members. Oh, they ain't got 100,000 likes, or they ain't got this. Truly, they can't be a true prophet. Truly, they can't be a real apostle. And that's where where mental illness come in deeper than just in the flesh. They mental illness in the spirit. Because when they go back and study their own instruction and direction guide, it's going to be likewise. It's not, they're not going to follow the righteous one. They're going to follow the unrighteous. The gate that has been said to be a narrow gate and a broad is showing you the way. One is going to be broad and one is going to be narrow for a reason that is within Yah. People don't believe in none of that. And they don't need to. They don't have to. To me, that's one perfect way of knowing who's in the world. It is. It is a perfect way of knowing who's in the world, who's going through the broad gate. That's how you know. Because they go the way of the many and the broad. It ain't, and you know the sad thing about it? It ain't that people are telling them anything. It's just that they are created to go to this side. Now you say to Sister Deborah, say, okay, here I go again. He playing both hands. What do you mean? Yah in his will, he playing both hands. So if you got a 10,000 members over here following 3 and 4 different church of this pastor, and this pastor over here only got 100 members, but they following his teaching over here, which one is which? You got two pastors here. One is here and one is there. He playing both hands. He's playing both hands. Why do Father Yah play both hands? Because he also created 2 gates. One to the broad. So those who got many can go to the broad gate. And those that have few can go to the narrow gate. He got 2 books in the kingdom. Not 2 books. He got the book of life, one side, and the books of many going to the lake of hell. Isn't that 2? 2 directions. So how do you think you can come down here on the earth and he going to play one hand? Baby, he going to pull up with that other one. Because he know in the heavens, in the kingdom, I orchestrated 2. One for eternal heaven, one to the lake of fire. Who's to tell me what to do with my hand? I am that I am. And they don't even get that word. I am that I am. If you knew the power that rests within that, you will understand a little bit of something. But see, they don't know nothing about that. So he playing still 2 hands. I heard a man, and he got a nice spirit about himself. He got it because I tried his spirit. He got a real nice spirit about it. He tried to teach the best he know how. He really not like people like that. They just try to do the best that they know how. He's trying to do the best that they know how. He was talking about and how people are mixing up good and evil and not able to separate the 2. Baby, let me tell you something. They wasn't separated in the beginning, baby. We need to stand down on all this good and understanding good in the standpoint of who Yah is. We better pull up with that word righteous. See, that righteous is set good down. Any time of the day, 24, righteous will set it down. Righteous will set any and everything down, come to think of it. Righteous will set it all down. So he really didn't understand. And what did I put on the card? It's because you don't understand good nor evil. You don't understand it. The only reason why evil is getting away with things is because he knows how. to work on good. It knows how to perform good. It can get out here and cut up in the floor, from the floor up on these devil platforms. Good, real good, to deceive you. That's how good evil is. To where when he created the garden with the one tree of life, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold up. Why is good over here with evil, holding hands with evil? I want to know. Why is good holding hands with evil over here at the tree of knowledge and good and evil? Knowledge of what? Good and evil. Knowledge of what? Good and evil. Well, why is good holding hands with evil? Why ain't good over there at the tree of life? Tree of life has righteous on it. It don't need your good. You see? That's for your flesh. Portray good. Oh, I'm good. I'm this and I'm that. I'm this and I'm that. All that in the flesh. Go and wrap over there to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, where death comes to an end for you, to the lake of fire. You see? So a lot of times we don't understand, and this man didn't understand it. And I said, okay, it's just like so much stuff I realized that people really don't understand. They don't. And you know what? Somewhere along the line, even that word is a scapegoat. Okay? Because whether they understand or not, y'all playing two hands. And one is greater than the other. One created all things. That was their right hand. And that stretched out on. But he's playing two hands when y'all think he only got one. You're running around here thinking you ruling everything because you think everything is in your hand. No, it ain't. Never was. So if you don't have him in you, you're not in that hand, that right hand of eternal life, the destiny of the light. The Lamb book of life. The spiritual realm of eternal. You're not over there. You over there on the other book, thinking you over in the right book, and you're not. And this started from the kingdom, not just on the earth. Good was put with evil, because that's how people fool you on these devil platforms with good. Oh, he preached good. She preached good. She teach good. I like her. She's good. She's good. She's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. What is good? Because I can hear Paul say, when I try to do good, when I try to do good, why is it evil is present? Because Paul, you didn't understand. Evil was holding hands with good, and good was holding hands with evil in the garden. That's why. That's why. So again, I listened to Jeremiah and what he was saying. And listen to this. In Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. In Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. And I'm going to go on down. It says, then the word of Yah came unto me. Wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. What word is that? I wonder. Since this book is the word, did this book come to Jeremiah? Did this book come into Jeremiah? See, y'all, you bent up and you bent down. The book are words. Yah deals with him. His. Oh, you ever tell him? Tell him. You better tell him. Yah deals with his through the word. Oh yeah. He deals with his through the word. Now watch how Jeremiah talk. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 4. Then the word of Yah came unto me saying, wait a minute, hold up, Jeremiah, did you have the King James Version or the 1611? Which one did you have? Are you talking about the Torah? Oh, did it come in Hebrew or Greek? No. Y'all bent. When y'all deal with his, he dealing with them through the word, which is himself. He don't need your words. That's why he can teach you all things. All things. Can this book teach you all things? Nowhere near it. This book couldn't even teach you 1% of all things. But he's saying, I pull up. Let me come on in. I pull up and I teach you all things. Oh, no, we don't want that. They don't want that, Father, y'all. They don't want that. They like where they at. They comfortable. Okay, now watch this here. Jeremiah saying the word of Yah came unto him, saying, oh, I love that word. Nothing but the word. All right, watch this here. Verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. I got a question. Father Yah, I got a question. That's how silly I be in the wilderness when I'm acting this fool. Reason why I be acting like that, because the moment he's teaching me and he's showing me something, I'll be just like, oh, wait a minute. Whoa, just acting a fool. You hear me? Because I be wanting all the answers. Instead of sitting down, taking it easy, Deborah, I'm going to give you what you're asking for, because I'm planning on giving it to you anyway. Calm down. That's what I be like that in the wilderness, y'all. I be wanting, oh, what's going on? Now watch this here. Here in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, he said, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Hold up, Father Yah. I got a question. Can this book tell us that it formed us? No, it couldn't. So the word had to tell Jeremiah that I formed you. How did I form you? My word and my power. Oh, they don't know nothing about that, Father. Yeah, no, they don't. They think this book is the key and the answer and the message from the beginning to the end of their whole life. They don't understand, Deborah. I am the word. I'm the one that Yeshua said would come and be a comforter, a teacher, a revealer, show you things to come and pull that power down in you so you can use it. That's the one we're missing. I ain't missing it, but that's the one people has missed, because they never tarried and waited like the day of Pentecost, like they did, and waited for that spirit to be, that they may be indulged with the ruach of the Most High Yah in them. So what happens? So Jeremiah here is in 5, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. See, that's the word. That's the word, child. That's the word. That's the word, child. That's the word. That's the word, child. That's the word. Not Torah, not Greek, not Hebrew, but the word don't have to go the way you want it to go. It goes any way it wants. Why? Because it is still yet under I am. While we run around here trying to make him who we say he is, he looking at us like we stupid. And we are. But then he said, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet until the nations. Until the nations. Until the nations. So, who can today override the word when it called a prophet or a prophetess forth? Who? Who? No one on this earth can actually tell you who's who. First and foremost, if they are not a prophet or a prophetess, you do not have of the Most High God now. Nothing in you should even open your mouth up about who's real, who's the false prophet, and who's the spiritual prophet. Because you know what? To be truth to be told, I ain't heard nobody talk about the spiritual prophet. All I hear, false prophet, false prophet. But yet, why is it the false prophets walking around with 200, 300,000, 600,000 subscribers and likes? Something wrong with that. Not just on YouTube. Travel over the world as prophets and prophetess deceiving the mass. Those are not the spiritual prophets, because their mission is not to deceive the mass. Their mission is not to travel to make the world know them, make the world see them, bow down to them, recognize them. Those are the false prophets. But because people are who live and how would I say, not only live, their whole life is about seeing the things that rest in darkness, because Yah haven't given them a pen, needle, or light to see the light of who he is or who he stands for. But here with Jeremiah sitting here saying that he told him that I formed thee in the belly and I knew thee. I formed thee and I knew thee. Okay. And then he said, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee to be a prophet. The spiritual prophets of the Most High Yah is coming out of the womb already with their position. I explained to you all, I've been I've been living it since I knew something was going on at 4 years old. I never let nobody steal that from me. I remember 4 years old, being in that basement, talking to this Most High Yah. And I mean, I didn't have no sense then, like I don't have sense now, but I don't care. I tell you what, come join me in the spirit realm, you get messed up. Okay, so what he's saying here is that what I called you from the kingdom, I make sure before you enter into the world, you were ordained. Okay, he says, I sanctified thee. He did all of that before he even came into the world. Before he came into the world. So he gets here and the people say, you a false prophet. That's why he say, touch not my anointed and mean them no harm. Because you don't have the power, the authority, not even the spirit to be able to discern by calling any prophet, whether they false or whether they spiritual, unless you are a prophet of the spirit realm, then you have every right. You see? But outside of that, you ain't got no, you have every right to open your mouth. But you better make sure that when you open that mouth and you say somebody is a false prophet or someone is the true spiritual prophet, you better make sure righteous is resting in your mouth. You sure better make sure, because whether it's the false prophet or the righteous prophet, you get your tail whooped, you call the wrong shot, because that same thing you calling out is really who you are. So if you're a spiritual prophet and you call out a prophet to be spiritual or false, okay, it's because if you spiritual, then you know what you're calling. You'll be able to distinguish the two. It's just like me. Let me say the example. It's just like me. When he called me, he didn't call me. I was just at church. Me and my mother was sitting down on our knees. And it was that time they used to celebrate bringing the New Year's in. And my mother was on her knees. I was next to her. And I was praising, just thanking the Most High. And my mother was praising. And all of a sudden I heard these things out of her, she was speaking in tongue. Let me stop. Just don't cut through the cheese. She's speaking in tongue, but I could understand what she was saying. I could understand her words, y'all. I stopped. I looked at her. I couldn't even get back into the praise because I was so busy listening to what she was saying. Ain't even none of my business. But that's how I found out I can interpret tongues. Is that people sit and they say, we don't need tongues. That's a lie. That's wicked. That's evil. See, that's going back to what I was just telling you. How people talk about the false prophet, who's all day the false prophet. Same way. People would not the given power, authority, and gift to be able to say who speak in tongues and who if tongues is real or if tongues is not. Just because, do y'all know how many people during the time I was in the church There is so many people wanted to speak in tongues. It is so many people desire to have the Holy Spirit tongue. The reason why people go up against it is because it's not for them. They would never receive it. Mm-hmm. I had a cousin. She used to be my little cousin, but she's probably 50-something years old. But I remember she was crying. I said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, I want to be able to speak in tongues. I want the Holy Spirit on me that way." And I'm like saying, "Oh, see, because what people don't understand, you can't force Yah to give you what he don't want you to have." I sat there next to my mother and heard her speaking in tongues. I stopped praising on my knees. I stopped to stand there on my knees. I stayed on my knees listening to her because I could understand what she was saying. The same way with the gifts that he's speaking of, like he's telling him, "I ordained you, I sanctified you, and I knew you before you was even in your mother's womb. I assigned you to the nations. I already assigned you to the nations." And this is Jeremiah. I don't know. I got to find out. I think Jeremiah got murdered. That's what happened to him. Yeah, I think Jeremiah got murdered. But I got to look in that. Just imagine that he did all that for him. Wait a minute. You sanctified him before he was born. You ordained him before he was born. You knew him before he was born. And you ordained him to be a prophet to the nations. Why would the Creator send a prophet to the nations and the nation heard him not? Wait a minute. Y'all right hand sends the prophet to the people. Each time, all his life, he's going back and forth, talking to the people, what thou said, the word of God. Just to die. It seems like just to die, but if y'all put it, orchestrated it, bam, you go tell them, he tell them, they do this. You go back, he tell them. You ever thought that wouldn't he get tired of doing that? You see, you don't even feel tired about doing what you are called from the kingdom to do. You just keep doing it. If nobody else there to do it with you, keep you doing what Jeremiah ordained. You were ordained, you were sanctified, and he knew you before the foundation of the world. He said he knew you. So his whole mission was just to come to just say that to them over and over and over and over and over. To what? Wait a minute, hold up, Father. You said nations. Oh, Jeremiah, you had to talk to all them nations just to die. Did they get it? No. This is the point. This is the true servants of Yah. They suffer under his namesake. People don't get that. That's what people don't really get. And they're not going to. It's too late. So like I was saying, I was speaking in tongues, just like speaking in tongue. That's something he had invested in me before I came out, before I was born, even before I was in my mother's belly. You see, this is what he had already ordained within me to be able to interpret tongues. Did I have it right? Yes, but no, because I had the gift to interpret the Holy Spirit tongue. So when I would get into the church and I hear all this other stuff going on, hey, I knew something was going on. But the Father wanted to teach me that the other tongues that you're hearing is flesh tongue and the spirit of evil. So there was, when you get into a location, you're going to hear 3 different tongues. The Ruach's tongue, the Holy Spirit tongue, the Satan, I call it Satan, but evil tongue, which is Satan, and flesh tongue. You see? And then he taught me what it sounded like. And boy, after then, I said, I nailed that thing. But I always saw it and always felt, what is these people saying over here? If I can understand, interpret tongues in the spirit realm, what are they saying? I did that for several years trying to figure out, well, what are these people saying over here? I don't understand that. What are they saying? The Father had to teach me that it's an emotion tongue to the flesh. Out of emotions, they want to jibber jabber. And then there's a tongue of the wicked, evil, Satan, because he's tripping off of the words. He keeps because he's tripping over the word, trying to get it. So he taught me the other two as well. He taught me how to know the difference in which tongue those two were. So coming here, I was given the gift of interpreting tongue, and I got confused with all these other two tongues that was going on in the church. So, but I had to beware in that environment for him to show me the difference in the other tongues that also comes in the midst of when his spiritual tongue take place. Okay, so as Jeremiah sitting here, he's telling him that this all took place before you was even in your mother's belly. So you got this mission, whether you like it or not. I already called you. I already ordained you. I already sanctified you. I already knew you. Come on here. Let's get to rumbling. Let's get you to doing what you're supposed to do among the nations. Then in verse 6, it says, then said I, Ahiah, I say Yah, behold, I cannot speak. I am a child. Now that's what Jeremiah was saying. What he's saying, I'm a child. I can't speak. A lot of people don't understand. Yah would deal with those who are not good at many things. He have invested his righteous will in individual who are not out here trying to use their perfect way of speaking in the flesh, and how they pronounce words, and how they make you think that, okay, I can use this word and this word, because it's a lot of them. They use all kind of words, and half the time they use it to try to throw you off as if they know something. They really don't, but that's their way. They have gotten away so many years with using the way they speak to be the key to deceive others to believe that they are somebody. Okay, so here it is. And then verse 7 said, but Yah said unto me, say not. I don't want to hear that. How are you going to tell me that you cannot speak? How are you going to tell? Why would Jeremiah tell that to him? Did not he just tell him, before you was in your mother's womb, I knew thee? I sanctified thee. I ordained thee to be a nation before you was even born. So why are you telling me because you born you can't speak? Do that make sense, y'all? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. You're going to tell me you can't speak. Duh. As if I just told you I knew all about you. So Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 7 said, but Yah said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee. Didn't I tell you? He's sending him to these people. And these people, he goes back to the right hand of the Father. He sent them back again. Just imagine, you came down here just to go back and forth. Just to go back and forth. And after it's over, what happened? They still don't get it. So you think that somebody like me is caught up in people getting what I'm saying? My brother Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah. You think that me understanding them would cause me to want something out of what they didn't get? I don't want what they didn't get. I want exactly what they have already experienced. Their examples has already been laid out to me. You see? So I'm not looking for more than the prophets of yesterday. You see what I'm saying? Those that's out here are looking for more and portraying that they get more, they receiving more. Leave that for them. Those are what you really call the false prophets. And they're doing a well job leading the people to the broad gate. That's their whole ordained, predestined for a new mission is to come down here and deceive the mass. And they're doing a good job. And what job are they doing? And who hired them? The one that holds all power in the right hand, and he controlled the left. It's still his will when it all said and done. So what happens? So he says in verse 7, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 7, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I send thee, and whatever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Now, if Yah says something to me, and a lot of times he be talking to me through water. He talked to me in different hours of the midnight, early morning, and midnight. You know, I hear him speaking to me, and I'm like, these people don't know that. Say this, speak about this. And when I do, I tell you, I feel like I'm talking to the brick wall. But when I sit and think of Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah, I think of, and the prophets of yesterday, he's playing both hands. The right has a mission to do what is righteous, to go into those who are unrighteous and speak unto them. Come back, hear what Yah has to say, and go back to what? Those that's in the world. Go back. Why? Because Yah always going to have a ram in the bush. I don't know where people get off that everything's supposed to be dark and Yah not supposed to have a pin, needle, or light on this earth. And that's how people accept you. That's how people embrace you. They want you to be you, but they want you to be like unto everybody else, or they follow the multitude in where they're going. Good job. You found your way. Good job. Thumbs up. You enter into the broad gate. This is the way that you were predestined. And my way is the narrow. And that's why very few shall find it. It's because you wasn't ordained, predestined, or foreknew to be created to go through the broad gate. So you're doing good. Thumbs up to the broad gate to those who enter. Okay. You're falling right by he that holds all power to the left and the right. You're going right to the left where you belong. Okay. And he tells him to go out and speak. So a lot of times people think it's something, you know, people really think that being a prophet is a big thing. Yeah, it is not. It comes with long suffering and endurance. What did I just, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah. I don't know how the birds keep running into my door. This is what they always do. Always is they come to do the will of the Father, to be a mouthpiece. And that's what he was telling him. That's another thing a lot of people don't know about prophets and prophetess. I command thee that thou shalt speak. He's not commanding somebody to hear him. He don't care if you hear him or not. He's playing both hands. But he's also, in this day, I see it myself. He's making sure that I know that he got some light down on this earth. Oh, yes, it's over. It's finished. It's high level of darkness. Let me tell you, I got a pin needle light down yonder. I got some light down there. You see? So I thank him for even allowing me to know that, because sometimes you feel like, hey, you talking to a brick wall, because it's like you giving this, and I'm like saying, the way he gives it to me, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, either I knew of it, or it's a new revelation of something he gave me on top of something he had already given me. And I'm like, oh, boy, I got to tell this. You get out here and you're telling me you still feel like you're talking to a brick wall. But if you listen to Jeremiah and you listen to Ezekiel and you listen to Isaiah, liken to that to them, I'm sure they would say to me, Deborah, that's how we feel. Deborah, that's how we feel. Except that we was just waiting to get killed. Where you is just waiting for the next message that y'all pour out onto you so you can just make it known. It ain't something that's going to wake and shake people up. Oh, no, no, no. He says over, it's finished. He ain't doing no waking and shaking. All this awakening, oh, we awaken. Stop lying. Jacob told Judah he wasn't going to awaken. He wasn't going to get up. He was going to be slowful. And he is 100% what Jacob said he would be. Jacob said Judah was going to be like that. He wasn't going to get up. Who would awaken him? He's letting you know until you're sure Shiloh come. That's it. Ain't going to get up. So all this here monkeying around and proclaiming somebody done something and somebody doing something, somebody keeping an individual from being what y'all created them to be, and 80% of them already decided to go to be created as a man and walking into a woman's lifestyle and as a woman. You see, no one says anything about that. So this is what he's saying is, as long as I have a pen needle light, some light down there that's willing to speak what I say, look at it the same way, Deborah. What you say ain't gonna change nobody. Did it change Jeremiah? Did it change Ezekiel? Did it change Isaiah? Did it change what they said when they had to keep going back and forth to a multitude of people, to nations? Did it change them? No. Yeah, I think that's really sad. If you really think about it, it never moved. It never changed anybody. Look at Moses. Look at Moses. Bringing these people out, did they change? No. They had Aaron, and they had what's his sister Miriam. They had Moses. Did anything those people do change the hearts of Israel? No, it didn't. See, that's where everybody don't understand. So when someone called out, somebody said a false. Wait a minute. What do you think a false prophet is? What you ain't, and you ain't got no business opening your mouth. Because a false prophet is best fit your mouth, okay, versus a spiritual prophet. Because we have nothing to gain, you guys. We don't inherit the world. We don't gain from the world. We just mouthpieces. That's what he told Jeremiah. Shut your mouth. Don't tell me you a child. Oh, you can't speak. He told Moses that. What you mean you can't speak? Moses come playing that same thing. He said, wait a minute, hold up. You going to Pharaoh like I said. Here, Aaron, take Aaron with you. But you're going. And I want you to say to Pharaoh, not Aaron. You say it. Tell me you can't speak. You don't tell the Most High what you can and cannot do. He said he knew you before the foundation of the world. He predestined you. He ordained you. He sanctified you. So therefore, he don't know. He don't want to hear about you can't speak. I did all this for you before you was born. And then you tell me when you get here and I have you to do something, oh, I can't speak. So he tells Jeremiah, shut your mouth. Why you say he said that? Listen to what it says. First, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 7. But Yah said unto him, say not. That means shut your mouth. Say not. Shut your mouth. I cannot speak. Shut up. For I am a child. Don't say, he said, verse 7. But Yah said unto me, say not. That means shut up. I am a child. For thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee. See, y'all don't want to hear all that trash. I try to tell y'all. Y'all don't know him. That's why y'all get away with it. The way y'all think, the way you function, the way you act, the way you conduct yourself, the way you feel. You get away with all that mess. But if you was in spirit and truth, you had a pen, needle, or light. Y'all ain't gonna let you get away with it that easy. I'm a living witness. I can't get away with nothing. I better not even look crooked. You see? Can't get away with it. Why? I knew you before the foundation of the world. I predestined you. I ordained you before you even came out of your mother's womb. Everything was already set. So if he already did that before you was even in your mother's womb, then how you gonna go and come out of your mother's womb, and then you get to a place where he ready to use you? You gonna tell him, hold up, I can't do this. Shut your mouth, Jeremiah. Shut up and just say what I tell you to say. I don't want to hear that. You know what? I'm about like the Father. Check him, Father, y'all. Check him. That's what he get. That's what he get. The Spirit talking to this Negro. Same thing with Moses. The Spirit of the Most High talking to them. And they have the audacity to tell him, well, wait a minute. You made a bad choice. I can't speak. These are men of Yah. Always got something to say. So he tell Jeremiah to shut up. And you just say, I shall send thee in whatsoever I command thee to speak. I don't want to hear that trash. What you cannot do. Verse 8, be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said Yah. Verse 9, then Yah put forth his what? Ooh. Y'all missed it, didn't you? Oh, you missed it, you missed it, you missed it. You know why you missed it? Because spiritually, you don't get it. Here it is in verse 9. And I already had it. Where's it? Here it is. Wrote down because I wanted to really expound on it. Verse 9. Then Yah put forth what? Is that same? Father Yah, is that same right hand you put on Job for Satan to be able to tempt him? Yeah, Deborah, that's that same right hand. They don't know about that though, Deborah. Don't go there. Don't go deep with them, Deborah. Don't go deep, Deborah. Deborah, don't go deep. Don't go deep. They don't know. They never knew. They never will know. Don't go deep. While he's sitting here running his mouth, talking about he can't speak. I'm a child. This is why I tell y'all, 99% of human beings on this earth, all of them wants to say they want to go to heaven. Nobody want to go to, no one wants to die. It's the same way. Everybody want to claim the Father. Everybody want to claim the Creator. Oh, I know him. He this, and he that. And guess what? They've been lying. You can't claim him without his power. You got to either claim him with the power or get your tail somewhere and sit down. You can't claim him without the power. You got to know the power like you know him. You got to know him like you know his power. How they gonna know it, Deborah? They missed it a long time ago. I know it, Father. Yeah, I don't know. They just lost. And that's your will too. Because here is another verse right here that I tried to explain to you all that they missed in Torah. You see, that's why they can't talk to me about no Torah, no Hebrew, no Greek. Don't come here talking that trash. Here he's telling you right here again that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with him, and the Word was him, and the Word was with him at the beginning. The Word is what spoke. That's him. He is the Word. And when he pulled up with the speaking words, what happened? His power came forth. Go to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Then Yah put forth his hand. What's the hand for? Anybody know? What's the hand for? Ooh-wee, Father Yah. See? They don't know. They don't know, Father. Just like you said, it's too late. They don't know. That's why it's no adrenaline in a lot of them. That when they teaching and preaching and they trying to tell you this and tell you that, it's not in them, y'all. They don't have that spiritual energy to want to pull out the Father and his power. They so busy saying the name, the commandments, using certain things that's easily to use to make you think they got a little authority. They got a little, how would I say it? A little input on what's going on. They don't know what they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And like here, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Look, the same thing he said to Job in Job when Satan wanted, he asked Satan to take Job. Satan had more sense than any one of y'all, even though he ain't got no sense. So that shows you where you at. He had sense enough to know. See, Satan recognized not only just the Father, he recognized that power. Satan don't mess with the Most High y'all. Y'all just got him. Flesh of men and women. Y'all the one put him on them pedestals. Satan know he ain't got nothing. He know he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. He was up there asking him. The Father was trying to convince him to get on Job. Satan wasn't going to get on Job. Satan said, I ain't finna go there. You think I don't know what's up with you and Job? I ain't going there. You can keep on saying, have you tried, Job? You're going to get him. No, I ain't messing with Job. Think I don't know what's up. But I tell you something I do know. This is what Satan said. He's saying this here in the book of Job. I tell you something I do know. Pull up with that right hand. And I said to the Father, I said, Father, how could he know the right hand and the power rest in that right hand? How could he know? And everybody proclaiming that they know you. They got you living in them. And you this and you that. And they don't even know nothing about your right hand. And that's when he told me they missed it way back in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. Now, right here, Jeremiah pulling it up again in Jeremiah. Jeremiah sitting here telling him that he can't, he's a child, or I can't speak. Same thing Moses said that to him too when he sent him on the mission to Pharaoh. Or I can't speak, I can't, whatever. Don't pull that mess. Don't pull that. Because that's unjust, y'all, to do that to the Father. He's sending you on a spiritual mission and hit your purpose. And first thing you're going to say, I can't because I can't do this. That's that flesh. So he sat there and told Jeremiah, shut your mouth. Shut up. Speak not. Don't say nothing to me. Then what did the Father says? Jeremiah tell you now, wait a minute, hold up, y'all. Something about to happen. Then y'all put forward that hand. Woo, Father, yeah. Woo, Father, yeah. Woo, y'all just don't know. You just don't know. Woo! Y'all, my baby is going to Guatemala or somewhere. I don't know where he's going. I know a little bit about the place he's going to, but I don't want my baby to go there. And he's leaving out at 6 o'clock. He don't know where he's going. He don't know where he's going. So he came over here. He had someone to redo his dreads, and he said, Mom, I need my hair cut, lined up and cut, because he had to cut his sides off. He came over and he said, we was talking about his trip, and I was telling him, these are the things you hear. Here, get this here where you got all our phone numbers and our address on it. And my baby said, he said, and I don't want him to go. And I feel that I'm being punished because he keep going places he shouldn't go, and in the environment of people that he put a lot of trust in, and I don't trust him. So this remind me of Job. Let me tell you what happened. And I'm cutting his hair. I say, I want to tell you one thing. And I'm going to show you what he did, y'all. I said, Jonah, I say, don't go too far out, but let me tell you something. I say, if you get in any type of situation, if you get into any type, I don't care what type of situation you get into a situation you can't see, or you can't see your way out, or you in a situation of danger, or any situation you get yourself in, you call on. Don't say nothing. Just call on. Ooh, Father. Just call on the God of your mother. My baby looked at me. He said, okay. I was like, oh. I said, again, whatever situation you get in, or you get into a situation, call on the God of your mother. That's it. I ain't finna tell him, Yahoo, this, and this. I don't have to do like y'all have to do. I'm not a clown on the earth. I'm not the clown. I come down here as a spiritual mission on this earth. Just as these prophets we speaking of. I don't have to rumble under names and in titles. I don't have to be about your business. Things to make you feel good, soothe your emotion, your feeling. I know who I serve. And if I don't know how to call his name, all I have to do is hum and he'll come. All I have to do is just think him and I know he's there. And I'm telling my baby, call on the God of your mother, Jonah, and he'll be there. Oh, praise the mighty Yah. And he will be there, Jonah. My baby going up in places, Guatemala, some place that he ain't got no business going. And I feel punished because he's going. But the father told me, you can't keep him. How about that? You can't keep him. You see? And if my son have to go out there and he get in a situation, all he have to do is call on the God of my mother or just think it. Think it, Jonah, and he'll be there. That's the one I serve. I don't know who you serve. You serve whoever you want to serve. That's the one I come to know. Okay? Okay? See, that's the one I come to know. Okay? So here it says in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9, this is what I'm talking about. Then Yah put forth that hand. You mean to tell me he put the hand on Jeremiah? Wait a minute, hold up. That same one to put forth that hand on Jeremiah is the same one. When my son called, if he in any situation and he called on the God of my mother, heaven's gonna have to open doors because Yah is coming. I know that without a doubt. I know that without a doubt. Without a doubt. I know without a doubt he would work it out no matter what situation he's in. So to say this, here with Jeremiah, he put forth his hand and touched. What did he do with Job according for Satan to have Job? Satan said, I tell you what, pull up that right hand. Y'all didn't say he put his hand forth on Job, but Satan said, pull up that hand. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I got to show this here. Satan said, pull up that hand. See, y'all don't know about that hand. Satan knows about it, and I know about it. Y'all don't know about it. Because y'all denied the power therein. Therein means you can't accept the Father without his power. You can't accept the Word without his power. You see what I'm saying? You can't accept nothing about the Father without his power. Because it stands in front of him, every side, and in the back of him. He's all power. So when you get to Job, watch this here. In the first chapter of Job, watch this here. Watch this here. In the first chapter of Job, Satan, in verse 10, Satan was telling him that, oh, you think I don't know you got the hedge around Job on every side, and you have blessed his work and has increased him with everything. That's what Satan was telling y'all. He was telling y'all all this here. You know, you think I don't know that? And then he said this here in verse 11. He telling me, because y'all was saying, come on, try Job. See if you can do something with him. Satan said, no, I know what's good. You got that hedge around Job and everything he got. You got something around him. I ain't going to bother him. The father told him, I take that hedge off. I take all that from around him. I take it all off. Go and try Job. Go try Job. Satan said, I ain't going that route. On one way, I'm going to go to Job. Here it go. Job chapter 1 and verse 11. Satan said, put forth thy hand. It's a sad day today, Father Yah. In my spirit, I feel sad already. How is it Satan knew your power? And these clowns on this earth don't know nothing about your power. Come on now. They think they know. Satan already knew that, hey, I can't mess with Job on the left. Because on the right is your hand. Put that hand on him. Then I can get him on the left. That hand, y'all. Same thing with Jeremiah chapter 1. And not only did he do it once with Job, he did it twice. Satan charged him in a way that he charged him. He said, but I tell you what, I bet you I can do it if you put that hand. Because see, what y'all don't understand, y'all do not know y'all. You think you know him because somebody told you his name is this, and he did, and he did, and he did, or he did, and he did. Oh, come on. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Then Yah forth his hand. The power is in the hand, and it is in that right hand of Yah. When y'all running around here think y'all the power, clowning, acting a fool, think it's all about the way you say it is, to think it is, feel it is, act it is, and tell it is. And y'all ain't no part of none of that trash. He ain't in the midst of that chaos. So in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 9, put forth his hand and touch his mouth. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Father, Yah, they don't know you. They don't know you. See? So if Yah is sending his prophets here, who are you? Wait a minute, hold up, Father Yah. You said you did this to Sister Deborah before she was in her mother's womb. Well, who gave the person or the individual the authority to say if she's a fake prophet or the spiritual prophet? You see how powerful that is? Y'all don't get it. I know you don't. Yeah, I know you don't get it. What Sister Deborah is saying, if you're called out from the kingdom, how could someone on the flesh, they stanky tail, flesh, tells who's who from the kingdom? You don't get it, do you? That's the part of this message, prophets and prophetess. He didn't send a calling down here in the spirit realm to tell any individual you are a true prophet and you are a fake one or a false one. He didn't send anyone. Only the spiritual prophets are able to know who's the fake prophets and who's the real ones. You see? But you got to be able to tell them through the spirit, not through the flesh. You got to sit, hear them, see them, and then try their spirit by your spirit. And if they're not the same accord as the spirit that's in you, then they're the false ones. And you can easily tell who they are by trying the spirit by the spirit. You see? But your mouth can't tell the fake prophets. I mean, the real prophets, if they're not prophets. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ain't nobody said that to me. No one said it to me ever, or even applied it to me that I know of. I ain't never heard of it. But I will say this: I hear a lot of people who's nobody, who's nothing, who's so caught up in the worldly matters. That's all they do on their platforms, put worldly matters, always talking about other female prophets. And guess which one they talk about, y'all? They talk about the prophetess that's got more subscribers than they do. That's why they talking. What do that mean? Jealous. Why? Because this individual, you pulling up with 2,000. This individual pulling up with 7,000. Now, that one is false. If you tell the truth of the whole matter, both of you are false in this eye, and it's not based on your subscribers. It's who you feeding. The world. You see? You're feeding the world what it wants. You ain't doing nothing for the Most High. Y'all, he ain't put his hand on you. But here, this is showing you another the power of Yah. His right hand plays a role in his prophets. You see, these clowns that's out here now trying to teach and preach, all these false teachers, and a lot of people don't even know. It's not just he's not talking about like the prophets, like all prophets. He's saying false prophets, but he's speaking of false teachers, false pastors, false apostles, false bishops, and anybody else who's trying to represent him. False. Okay. Now, verse 9, the Most High, verse 9, it says, then Yah put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And Yah said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. Go tell him what I had told you to say. Go tell him. You see? He had to touch his mouth. So he hooping and hollering, talking about, I don't know how to speak. I can't speak. I'm a child. Shut your mouth. Do you know who you talking to? Do you know what I hold in this hand? No, they didn't. And that's why I say to you all, when you know him like that, you understand who he is. And same thing about Deuteronomy 28. That's why I saluted. Because that's his characteristics. That's him. That's how he rumbled. Okay. So here and he telling him he touched his mouth. He put his hand and touch his mouth. Just imagine if y'all put his hand on your mouth. Just imagine if y'all put his hand on your mouth. You'll be forever changed. But you got to understand this. If he put his hand on your mouth, which side are you on? Are you left or you right? Whichever side, he plays both sides. Y'all thought you run it, didn't you? You thought you ruled it, didn't you? Yeah, that's what you thought. You thought you called the first shot and the last, baby. You don't rumble nothing. Okay? So he's telling him, because every time he touched Jeremiah's mouth and told him, and Yah said to me, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. Verse 10, see, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pour down, woo-wee, and to destroy. Now, and to throw down, and to build, and to plant. Woo-wee, that brother had a job. Boy, he had a job. Wait a minute, hold on, Father, y'all. You ain't gonna give him no help. Wait a minute. Are you gonna give him some help? No. His help is what I didn't give him. And I gave it to him before the foundation of the world, and I nailed it when he got down here. I put my hand on his mouth. Go. Be my speaker. And that's why nobody can't come to Jeremiah to tell him he ain't who he's supposed to be. That's why nobody can't come to nobody and tell them who they are. Especially when they are the light of the Most High Yah. You can't do that. I wouldn't even want to go telling somebody who ain't. But I look at their spiritual fruit. Is their spiritual fruit is being wasted on the world. And they out here teaching the world worldly things and teaching everybody what the world is saying and how the world is saying it and what the world got to say about this, the world, everything about their platform is about what the world got to say. Oh, no, baby, no. Where's the glory for my Father? Where is his honor and his praise? Where is he exalted? Where is he uplifted? Come on now. Give him the authority. I can sit here all day and night and talk to you. And it's going to always land, he all that and something. I'm going to always land right on him. And I'm going to always take his side because it ain't no other side outside of his side. You see, I'm not going to be on this devil platform telling y'all all about the words. Now, I might be telling you some things that's happening that's actually going on among the people, but it ain't going to be to where I'm on here chasing subscribers over and over and over, trying to get likes and subscribers so I can get that check at the end of the month. No, because you can't represent the world and y'all that way. You can't. You got to let the check go and serve the Most High y'all. That's why they can't let it go. That's why you know their fruit and what their fruit is representing. Their spiritual fruit is representing darkness. Why? Because it's serving the darkness of the world. It ain't giving nobody no food for their spirit. It is not energizing the spirit food in the people. It ain't doing nothing. Giving them, with me, listening to Jeremiah, just listen to the short, you know what I think of? Hey, these people just don't know who the spirit of fear, that's one of his brands. Huh? He got a reason to fear him. If he playing both sides, why wouldn't you? It's because it's still a gift from him. When you come down here, you already branded with the spirit of fear of him. Not the spirit of fear of the world, but the spirit of fear of him, because you know him like that. You know him enough to know he's not something or one to be played with. You see? And you don't go in that. You don't even try to even go into that area. Okay? So here he's telling him what all he has him to do. Now listen to what Jeremiah said in verse 11. Moreover, the word of Yah. Wait a minute. Is it the Bible? Is it the King James 16:11? Is it the Enoch? Where's all the book? Wait a minute. Where's the word? No. The word is Yah. That's what he's telling you all. That's why you can't tell people and beat people with this Bible. The Roman Catholic didn't whoop your tail with it anyway. Got you believing any and everything. You can't even see the Roman Catholic up in here because you don't have the eye to see, the spiritual eye to see, nor the spiritual ear to hear what is being said in this book. Once you have that, then you can get in this book and read it all day and night and precept it, line it a little here, and then you know what Yah said and what is being said in this book outside of what Yah said. Oh, yes, you can. That's why he said study to show yourself. But we're going to have to rightly divide this thing. Wait a minute, hold up. To divide means something, don't it? Wait a minute, Father, what the divide? Divide means something. We're going to divide something here, huh? Yeah. They ain't got sense enough to grip that, devil. They don't grip it. That's how far gone people's minds have always been. It ain't when they got over here or when they was here and when they was there. It was always gone. Always gone. That's why I never could connect with an unseen creator with all power. One that builds them up. Do you all know how many armies that right hand defeated for us as a house of Israel? Do you understand how many armies that right hand defeated for David, Abraham, Jacob? No, they don't know. That same right hand that put his hand around his mouth, that's that same right hand that put on Job so Satan can have him. That's that same right hand that defeated all those armies against Israel. And he get no glory from them even to today. They out of, you know what else? Let me show you something. I was just listening to this here. I see these nice guys out, these Hebrew Israelites, and I think they was in front of an apartment complex, and this heathen, now this European, I don't know what he is, and they got it like KKK, something like that. I guess he was saying, let me go get my boys. Let me get my saddle, in a sense. Let me go get my buddies, and we gonna finna saddle up. You know what that means? They talking that KKK mess. And he was telling that to the Hebrew Israelite two men that was on the curve there, and they was had they posters. You are disrespectful. Every man out there at the sound of Sister Della's voice, you are not a man representing the Most High Yah. You are not a man representing the Most High Yah. If you say that this book is about you, you would never know it. You would never know it. If you say that this Yah is in your, how would I say it, connected to the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, you would never know it. The way y'all conduct yourselves are fools. Of fools. I sit back and heard that man say that. I was them brothers, I wouldn't have been scared at all. I wouldn't, no, I ain't gonna say that. They didn't know what to expect. And they were sitting there and they just continue what they was doing. But then you could see on both of them, I could see it, y'all couldn't see it. I could see it, y'all couldn't see it. I could see it, y'all couldn't see it. And I didn't like it because I got a feel with it, a feel of sadness that they didn't know what this man was bringing back. And then they were standing I think in the front of someone's apartment complex. First and foremost, the tribe of Judah, you the sickest species on the face of the earth. You believe it or not. Yes, this one is calling you out. Let me tell you why. Let me break this thing down. Yah is not the author of the type of confusion our brothers is putting out here. That is not of Yah. Yah is not detached to that. Yah said something to me that threw me backwards, that made me pull this here video to bring this up, because I got my list of other things. Where's my other card? Oh, here it is. Other things I'm going to speak on. Okay. And this one here, I have to say, Judith, you guys, you're ill. You're ill. You're very ill. Mentally. You're very spiritually. Something wrong. You can say what you want, think what you want, and because you done messed a lot of things up, especially your own household. You have messed it all up. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. The Father said something to me because I was feeling sad for those brothers that was out there. And they was talking about that. They wouldn't do that to them, and they wouldn't do this, and they did this, and then we only just doing the word, and we only just trying to do what we supposed to do, and we out here doing it what y'all telling us to do, and y'all said this. Then these two elderly men, black, melanated elderly men, walked by, and they told them that, why you want to break the commandments? That's what they said to the two melanated elderly men. But the other white man that left, he said he finna go saddle up with his partners and coming back for them. And saddle up mean, that cuckoo KKK mess. And they was trying to get their focus off, and they were just talking. And then the one of the men told the elderly men that, do y'all understand y'all breaking the commandment? The man said, how are we breaking the commandments? He said, because you shaved. You ain't out here with your fringes on. And that's when the Spirit of the Most High spoke to me. He said, see that, Deborah? Do you hear that? First and foremost, do you understand they are standing out in front of, because the white man said that you in our territory. That's what he told him. Why are you standing in front of somebody's apartment complex trying to tell somebody about your Yah when you ain't got sense enough to know your Yah yourself? Okay, listen to this. This is what the Father said to me. He said, have you ever thought, Deborah, how can they go in Chicago, New York, New Jersey, which is New York still, and they stand all over the city, the downtown area, saying that they are the people? Who are you trying to convince? 90% of their community don't know me at all. Why ain't they there? When the Father told me that, I was like, let me write that down. Let me write that down. He said, why is the Israelites not in their own community, standing up, teaching what they're teaching? And that is so true. That is so true. And I never gave it even a thought. I knew that they out of order. When I first got on here and saw what the Hebrew Israelite men were doing, I knew they was out of an order that was not representing Yah. So it wasn't that they were out of order. They were in order to their own stupidity and the way that they go about things and the way they teaching and preaching on these corners. That has nothing to do with the Most High Yah. That is the darkness of who they are. And they somewhere along the line, another man told them they walking in the light of Yah. They doing what is upright. They doing what is just. And they, the people of Yah and all this, they got these men head all off their neck. Okay. And that's where they are. But when he sat there and he said, why would you think that they would be out here telling somebody about their Yah. He said, telling somebody about their Yah and not in their communities. I said, that is not true. That is so true. They do. They have a way of going into the downtown areas of big cities, standing out on the corner when they got all these inner cities and all these places here. Why ain't you going there? Because your own people will take your life out there. That's why. And another thing, you out of order out here. So just imagine the order that would cause you to lose your life in your own community. You see? Because you won't be able to get away with talking the way you're talking on these corners, these downtown areas and out here on these corners. You won't get away with it if you was in your community. They won't let you by with it. You see what I'm saying? So he was sharing that with me, and I was like, I never thought of it like that. But I have in time past couldn't understand why ain't they trying to convince their own nation, their own tribe. Judah, is something wrong with Judah? Something wrong with them. They ain't gonna teach they. Let me tell you the deepness of it. They ain't gonna teach their household. They ain't gonna teach their neighbors. They ain't gonna teach their communities. They ain't gonna teach their city. They ain't gonna teach their state. No. They got to be somewhere where they can be loud and represent Yah in such a dark way. You see? You got your fringes on. So you telling everybody they broke the law because you got on fringes that you sold on your t-shirt, and then you sitting here telling them that they breaking the commandments? See, what that led me to realize that they cuckoo clock all the way through. Straight cuckoo clock. What they used to say, the elevator don't go all the way up. Let me tell you something. Their elevator never made it to the first floor. Their elevator haven't made it to the first floor, just to the basement. Oh, Father, y'all. But I tell y'all, it is a sad thing. It is sad to see what he was saying in clear sight in the year 2024. Just to see them out there. And you know what, y'all, let me tell you something. These two men, I discern them. They had a spirit about themselves that wasn't, how would I say it? It wasn't matching what they was teaching. So that's what made me have that sadness for them, because I felt that spirit on them also was kind of scared, because you just told this man, you just went up against this white man. This white man said, stay right here. We'll be back. I'm gonna pull up with my buddies, and we're gonna ride on in, or something like that, about the riding on in with his horses, whatever he talking about. He talking about KKK. And he told him, you out of your area, y'all over here in the wrong turf with this, like that. I'm like saying, and I guess that's why the father was saying, have you noticed it, that they don't go over in their own community? Y'all notice that? None of y'all haven't noticed it, because that just shows you how Judah is shortcutting somewhere, because no one has ever talked about it. No one has brought it out, that they always over in an area where they should not be. They should not be there. Go to your community. You got enough people in your community. You can be talking this trash you talking on these corners. Take them to your community, because you're trying to convince somebody you're not going to convince, because you're doing it out of the darkness. You're not doing it out of the light. You see, that's how I know something wrong with them, because you take that trash to your community. You got a lot of community. Take it to it. Oh, they don't want to do that. They ain't going to do it. So do you think when y'all was telling Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Isaiah to be mouthpieces and speak what I give you to speak, do you think he was telling him to go into other countries and telling them what to do, and telling all these other nations in a sense of what? No, because it says nations. So Jeremiah had more than just Israel, the house of Israel, to talk to, because it says nations. But Jeremiah had more, but to talk to. But he also was a mouthpiece for Yah. He was a prophet that had been touched by the right hand of that power of Yah to go out to be that of. And he said, what did he tell him? He said in listen to what he said he called them out to be. Verse 10, he said, see, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, and root to root out, to pull down. See, to root out, to pull down, and to destroy, and to throw down. Those, all four of those are hardcore danger. That means somebody's about to feel hurt. Somebody's going to be offended. You in trouble, Jeremiah, you in trouble. Because that's exactly what he's telling him. Your mouth is going to do. That's why people thinking prophets are coming here to tell you what you want to hear. And that's why you can't have a prophet that's connected to a pastor, a prophet that's connected to an apostle, a prophet that's connected to a priest. You can't have them connect because they'll be doing their way. They'll be under their order, their control. They have to be those called by Yah, just like Jeremiah. Those are the real prophet. I told you I've been dealing with the Most High Yah since I was 4 years old. I would go to church, sit up in church, and come out, been in take what they said, dissect that bad boy. Always dissect what they said. And I just didn't. I'm going to tell y'all something too. I didn't dissect it with the Bible. I dissect it by the Spirit. The Spirit taught me how to hear and hear behind hearing. Okay, so you will know exactly what's really being said. And that's when you're in the spirit realm, being able to hear the flesh speak and the spirit that supports the flesh that is speaking. See, so you can hear the two. Hearing behind hearing. Okay. Another thing that was brought to me was we think that we created to live for us. Somebody's in trouble. People have never and never will, because it's over, it's finished. Many think that it's about them. Oh, I was created for me. Me and mine. Me. Never. Then I guess that is true to an extent to those who are born of the flesh. I don't know what that's like. And I don't know if that's no, it's not a bad thing. I don't know what that's like to be about me. And is it now I ain't gonna say I'm missing something in life, because I don't know what that's like. I never knew what it was like. And that's probably why I'm where I'm at now. You know, always feeling that it has to be about someone else and not so much me. So I was dealing with, when I was studying Jeremiah here, I was dealing with living was never about you. Look at what Jeremiah did. He was telling Jeremiah, I knew you before you was in your mother's belly. I predestined you. I ordained you. So he was preparing him. Was it for him? All of this that you was preparing Jeremiah for. Father Yah, was it for Jeremiah? How could it be for Jeremiah? Because when you get to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 10, he told him that I set thee over nations and over kingdoms to root out, to pour down, and to destroy, to throw away, to build, and to plant. What is this? All this you said you did to you set in him, Father. What part is for him? See, this is what people don't know. And it don't matter if you don't know nothing. It's too late to know anything that lines up in the light. It's over. See, he ain't tell Jeremiah nothing about Jeremiah. Well, that's what life is, y'all. That's the reality of those who are called, appointed, and anointed to work and to be about the fathers of the that created all things, his business. Because you come down here to serve him. In a way, it's not about you. It's about being about his will. And it's hard to even get caught up in me, mine. And when they have children and they have a wife or they have a husband, we. And just wait till the day of judgment. Just wait till the day of judgment. You're going to find out all this that everybody is creating about themselves. It never was about you. And I used to tell people that long years ago. When people start to realize this is why it ain't about you. It never was. Because people think when they have and they inheritance. This young girl was on YouTube and she was talking about, she let it slip. She's black, melanated, and she married this here European man. And I think he's 40 and she was like 18 or 19. But they had a baby, and now the baby is almost 1. And they were sitting up and talking about how people keep criticizing them and telling them they just wasting time and wasting money because they bought a house in Arizona right in the opening space, and they had it built. It was a house, but they had it redid and all this. And that young girl sat up there on that television, and her European husband said, he's from British, or he's somewhere, he got to be British, but they from Europe. He's from Europe. And she was staying there, and she came here because she wanted to come to America where her family is at. And him and her was talking, and she started to say a few curse words because she's upset about the people keep on saying bad things about her and her husband and what they're doing. And she jumped up. The young girl jumped up. I think she's 21 now. She's 21 or 22 now. But she sat on the bed, and her husband said, baby, don't tell him. Don't tell her. And she couldn't help it. She said, I don't curse. She said a few cuss words. She said that we can do whatever we want to do. We got enough money to do anything and everything we want to do. So we can travel for the next 5 years before our baby go to school. So we can do anything we want to do. And then the husband and her kept on talking about, and then they was trying to get off that subject. And then the husband said, well, let me just go on. Since you tell me we six figures to the point of 99 point something. Almost a million, really. That's what he was saying. So just hearing her get out of that space, she knew what they had. And that's what she's living on. That's why she won't sit still and just be settled or just get this. And that's what the people on her page keep saying. She don't know what she wants. She just all over the place. And in the sense, the sister got mad. She said, well, let me tell you, I got enough money. I can be all over the place. That's pretty much what she was telling them. I'm like, oh, okay. But people really think that what they have and what they had in life and what they have was really just for them. They think, well, this here is for me and mine's. Mine's. And I like that because it's mentioned that where your heart is, where your wealth is, there your heart shall be. And when people are caught up on them, and me, and mine, hey, that's a rabbit hole so deep. I'm telling y'all, they'll never crawl out of it because it'll always have a mind frame that it's all about me and what I have and what I got. It's not about, and that's why you got men that's created as men, and he's speaking to them in the instructions and direction book, book, telling them about widows, fatherless, orphanage. And I'm like saying to the father, why are you telling them about that, Father? What is all that about? These men ain't even taking care of their own children. What makes you think they're going to be up on the widow? What makes you think they're going to be on the fatherless? What makes you think they're going to be on the orphanage? That's another part I was trying to explain to you all about Judith and what a man position is. See, not only are they out of order as far as home, family, children, training up their children in the way that they go, a husband to a wife and a wife to a husband, is they all out of order. That's why he said the whole earth is out of order. But see, this is why, because you look at where he talks about the orphanage. What are they missing? Orphanage, fatherless, and widows. A man. See, and in their minds, because they don't know what a man is, They don't understand you ain't following the will of the Father. Nothing you doing is following the order of Yah. And you really thinking you his highest pedestal. You up on the highest pedestal representing him. You got your churches, you're building, you're selling, you're doing everything. Oh, you got it going on. It's about me, me, me. That's where it's at. And in 2 Timothy chapter 3, it talks about that too. They caught up only in themselves. So even what I'm saying is also got verses to back all that up. They are all caught up in themselves. So that's why I say it's over, because ain't nothing coming to change people where they're at. You see, he said their heart is already rooted within them. It's already drilled away that cannot be removed. So it is what it is. Because if I think of orphanage, fatherless, and widows, I look at it, all of them have in common is a male. And I'm like, Father, but if they can't take care of their own household, they can't cut their own grass, they can't do nothing to represent you creating them as a male, train up their children in the way that they should go. They don't even know that their children come out of their womb. They're too ignorant to know that. So it's almost like, ooh-wee. What somebody said to me, Deborah, is just like that narrow gate. That's just it. And no, that person that said the narrow gate, the small remnant. That's what the person was saying. It's the small remnant. It tells the story. It really tells you the true story. It really tells you the true story of the outcome. And nobody's seeing it like that. They won't see it because everybody have made everything about them. And they thinking that it's nothing on this earth worth investing in outside of them, what they want, they have. And if they have to go outside of that, you won't see them deal with anyone because they want to surround whole living around them and what they have, what they got, what they get, what they doing. It's okay. When that storm comes, y'all gonna make sure that you by yourself. Okay? He's gonna make sure and let you see if what you have gonna save you. That's what it's gonna turn up to be. See if it's gonna deliver you. See if it's gonna save you. How are you gonna get out when you felt that everything was about you and your life was you, me, and we. Okay? When that time, and I keep saying that time, I see it already. So I'm just saying that the Father has to pull a curtain open so all of it can be revealed. That's what I'm sitting waiting for him to move that curtain so they can see it. Because I'm seeing it. You know, just move that curtain a little bit, Father. Oh, just a little bit, Father. Just a little bit. In your time, not mine. Okay. Let me see. Traditions of a woman. That's another one I wanted to cover. The tradition of a woman is when a woman has certain ways. He says them to obey your father, but keep the law of your mother. So it's like mother has traditions that she train up the children in traditions, okay, in laws, okay. And with this is what children also takes with them the rest of their lives. Not the rest of their life, throughout their lives. They take a lot of ways, traditions of mother, but that's all they could take. That's all they could take. Why? Because the Father says that if he deals with the other side of a child, which is the iniquity and the sin of the father, then the child now have the father sin and iniquity in him, plus the mother traditions. You see? This is what the children come up in. The father sins and his iniquity, and the mother's tradition. The mother tradition is like she might break her kids up that they're not allowed to do this. Or they're not allowed to run the bath water to the tip of the tub or anything that's tradition. And then the children learn how to follow those traditions that they came up under while living with mother. You see what I'm saying? Those traditions, listen to what I'm saying. Those traditions are traditions that also can fade away. Because what makes that, anybody in the live chat, whining? What make the traditions of a mother fade away? They just had a son that just went in and killed his mother, and then he killed himself. But what traditions of the mother? What caused the traditions of a mother to vanish? Do anybody know? What's powerful than the tradition of the mother? What's powerful than the tradition of the mother? And how can the traditions of the mother fade away? If anybody happen to know. Traditions is a way that you come up in. I'm telling you what I had to teach. It's been about 18, 19 years ago. Yeah. The traditions of a mother, can they fade away? Yes. Will they fade away? Yes. Only one thing causes the traditions of a mother to fade away: the laws of a mother to be done away with. Anybody know? And let me tell you how I had to teach it, since no one can respond. That's why I tell you, sometimes I think I'm speaking to a brick wall. I ain't no thinking, I know it. Is when you reach in between 11 years old, going into 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, those ways comes that's in you. They come up in you to reveal who you are. So mom can teach you to wash dishes before 9 or 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Let's say 7 p.m. You have to wash dishes at 7 p.m. in the evening. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. This is how powerful this is. So 7 p.m. Monday through Fridays, you have to wash dishes. 7 p.m. That's the law of mom. And that's the tradition that she brought you up in. Say, for instance, you were 8 years old, and every day on Monday through Fridays, you had to wash dishes before 7 p.m. Watch this how. Watch how I roll in. Watch how I roll in. And don't forget, heaven knew all about this. Now, you was 8 when mother started you with the tradition and with the law. Wash dishes before 7 p.m. Dinner is at 5, but I want you to wash dishes at 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. That child reached at 11, he started to slip. She started to slip. And by the time you hit 12, I don't want to wash every day. I don't want to do this here. Can I wash them at 8? Okay. I don't want you to wash them at 8 every day now. I want you to drive them. Can I do it today? Just at 8? Sure. Go on and do it at 8. Next thing you know, this child is still at 12. The hormones are changing. Whole inside is changing over. Why? Because it's identifying who they are. This is where dad is pulling in. You can probably, and I come back again tomorrow, and I want to see how many verses that you can find in your instructions and direction that's telling you the Father pulling up. Now watch this. You got this child now 12. Now the inside of who they are is pulling up. They changing the hormones, and the voices is changing, and the women, the daughters are having cycles, or starting a cycle. So things are changing. What you all did not understand from 11 to 11 and a half, all the way up to 12, 13, 21, 22, about in that 22-ish, they identifying who they are. That's what's showing up. Now, what's going on? Mommy, your traditions and your law means a darn thing. Because what's up now, what has pulled up, is who they are. As long as they were 8, 9, 10, 11, oh, they didn't have no problem. Because their inside hadn't started identifying really who they are. But all of a sudden, they starting to their body is starting to identify who you really are. Now, the mother's traditions and the mother law is thrown out the window. And they say, and I hear several men saying, these women didn't raise our men, our young boys, and our young men up wrong. No, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby. Y'all said, and he wants to tell you now, you was in that child way from the beginning. That's why Adam was created first. Your children is in you, and you are in them. Because if not, my question would be in the wilderness, hold up. What's this stuff about? You're going to visit the iniquity and the sins of the father through the generation of the children. Where is that coming from? That bloodline. Thank you. It's coming down that bloodline. Y'all don't play. Well, why is it not coming down the mother? Because the bloodline of the children rests on male and female. But it's the bloodline of the men, the males. That's why I kept telling the men to train these sons up the right way. Because they're coming from them. And only one way is the right way. You can say what you want. Ain't no such thing as 2 and 3 ways. One way, the way of righteous. That's the only way he was talking about. He wasn't telling you to train them up in no other way but righteous. So what, you didn't come up in righteous? So what, your daddy didn't come? Your mama didn't? Y'all still said you won't come to this throne telling him your mama didn't train you up or your daddy didn't. When you come to this throne, you come and as you are. I'm going to know who you are. And if you didn't have nothing in you, like your mama and your daddy didn't, then you didn't brought forth children like unto you, your mama and your daddy. So what happened? They pull up. All of a sudden, this daughter is they say she's 11 and a half, and she don't want to follow the rules. What was the rule? One day, her chore was one day out of a week, not one day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Before 7 p.m., you have to wash the evening dishes. Now, I ain't washing no dishes. I don't want to do that. Then all of a sudden, mama come in. Here it is, 10 o'clock at night. Dishes still down. Why haven't you washed dishes? I don't want to. Shoot, I don't want to. All these ways start kicking in. So you get up and she go down there and wash dishes. All of a sudden, the next week, she end up saying, hey, I don't want to wash dishes no more. Well, what's going on? What happened all those years? You had the law. The tradition was you wash dishes before 7 p.m. You off on Saturday and Sunday. What do you mean? All you have to do, one chore is to wash dishes, the evening dishes. What's the deal? I don't want to. You see? Why? Because daddy in there now. The identity of daddy is now being revealed. See, that's what y'all never knew. They would never preach that thing and teach that thing in the correct way of righteous. Now, what happens? Now she don't want to wash dishes. Now she battling with the one who laid the law, who laid the tradition that you wash dishes. You didn't have no problem with it until your inside starts to switch over to identify from a child to a young adult. Now you thinking, you smelling yourself, and you're thinking that you're grown. Now you're feeling yourself. You're feeling really who you are. Then all of a sudden, there's a battle in the house. Because mama said, I brought this baby up. I took care of her. I had her in all type of activities. I gave her an allowance. I took her shopping. I did this. I did that. What's the problem? I gave you one chore and you just can't. Baby, because daddy living in her now. And nobody won't preach and teach that thing right. And it's a sad day for me. Because I look at it and I say, Father, that's a sad, sad day. Any issue you would have in your whole tribe, you got to go and find out where did the Father messed it up for you. So you go back to the Deuteronomy 28 and say, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all, how do we get here? Didn't I tell you, your fathers, your forefathers? Did not I tell you how you got here? Didn't I tell you it was their sins and their iniquity? They stiff-necked, they rebellion, they disobedient. How dare you come before my throne talking and asking the question? Why didn't they tell you? Why are you at my throne? Why ain't you asking them? That's why I say it's a sad thing that the males won't even confront the males on this. They won't pull out nothing that has to do with righteous or spirit and truth. So now the daughter and the mama is battling. Daddy gone. He left when she was 2. Now she battling with what? That monster that she left when that left at 2. She didn't know nothing about him. And that's what Miss Almond is a Jehovah's Witness. She's been there for about 60 years. I don't even know. She's been there. I think she was there 60 years, maybe not even that long, but she's an elderly lady. She passed away. She was like a second mother to me. And she used to always tell me as a young girl, as a teenager, never get involved with a man. She used to always tell me, or married. She said married, unless you know his background. Make sure you know about the father. I never knew what Miss Almond was talking about. But if I could, I can tell her today, you were so right. You were so right. She used to say that, and I used to wonder what she mean by that. She was even talking about the way they conduct themselves, the way they look, know about their family, see the daddy. If you got to see the grandfather, see the grandfather. See how the mother is. I mean, she was just telling you it goes back. You get in a marriage and you thinking, oh, this, or I'm going to change. But you're going to have to understand this, you cannot change. It's in the bloodline. So what happened? So the mama and daddy is competing with each other and battling with each other. And that's the way it remains. And now they're enemies as they are adults. Known fact. That's the way it always been. Let me explain to what I'm saying. I'm going to explain it. And I wish I had more than one, because that's really what I need. Should have had all that. I wasn't planning on going that deep, but that was one of the things that I was studying as I, not studying, but going through. And I got a sneak peek here. And then Isaiah chapter 3. Watch this here. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. In Isaiah chapter 3, you hear him telling you how the fathers are going to get out of trying to lead and to do what they're supposed to do. And they're going to roll it over into the sons. And the son's going to turn around and tell them, I don't have nothing. Don't put me to be the head. I don't want to be the head. I don't want to be over. I don't want none of it. You see? Read Isaiah chapter 3. I double dare each and every last one of you to go there. So then what happened? So when it got to Isaiah 3 and verse 12, it says, as for my people. So now he's talking about his people. Children are their oppressors. And women rule over them. Children are their oppressors. And women rule over them. What did I just say? The mother didn't have no problem bringing up the child. No problem. That child turned 11 and a half to 12. Their hormones and everything starts switching over. Why? It's trying to identify who they are. The father said, you are your child. You are your father's. child. Your ways, that's any, if you find any wicked, evil, iniquity, sin, is coming from the Father. Yah says that all the way through this here instructions and directions. And Judah and Israel claim this to be their book. That's why I tell y'all, they don't claim it, y'all, by their own righteous. They claim it under unrighteous because they don't want to teach you what I'm telling you now. The reason why he's telling you this, that the women is, the children is going to be the oppressors, is because they're going to be likened to the fathers. You see, they're going to be the seeds of the fathers, and they're going to be oppressing their children. The children going to be oppressing them. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for the people, children are my people. Children are their oppressors. Now, wait a minute. I thought the heathen Gentile was your oppressors. See, y'all ain't listening. And listen to this here. And women rule over them. Now, who is it saying women rule over? The children. This is why mothers are getting killed by their sons. Mothers are getting killed by their daughters, but a lot of them are getting killed by their sons. But there are some that's being killed by their daughters. Why? You're the only one there to put up with that oppressor that's in them. See, that's why when he said that, they were supposed to oppress the father and the mother, even though they came out the father lineage. They was to oppress the both of them. But y'all knew where we would be in today. Those fathers won't be in that household. And the only one going to be left is mother. So if y'all sit down, let's take 2 weeks and see how many mothers in the tribe of Judah are murdered by their sons or their daughters. Okay? Why? Because the mother is dealing with the oppressors, which are the children of the what? Of the father. Stiff-neck, rebellion, disobedience. What else? What else? Come on, talk to it. Talk to it. What did he say? The sins of the forefathers, the iniquity of the forefathers. You see? All of that is in these children. And this is what the mothers have to put up with. So mothers think they're doing okay when they got the law, because they figure we got something is okay. It's being conducted. Say, for instance, they have a son, same way. He didn't have no problem taking out the trash once a day. But now when his body starts switching over to identify his bloodline, oh, you better get out the way. Mother gonna have hell trying to get him to do something that he did for 6, 7 years, 8 years straight. Because it don't start kicking in until those insides start switching over from a child to a young adult. And that's at 11 and a half, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all the way up in there. You have to put up with all that. Who do? Wait a minute, what you mean they got to put up with it? Remember, it says those children are going to oppress you. They're going to be your oppressors. Wait a minute, but ain't the heathen Gentiles them, they are oppressors? Yes, they are. But you got another one in your household. Praise the mighty Yah. In your household, women, and now one of you will bring light to the surface and tell the truth about it. You want to hide up, keep hiding under. Truth gonna come out anyway. These children are not killing and doing the things that they're doing because they just ain't got nothing better to do. The father would tell you, check that bloodline out. That's how I took them. That's why I suffered them to go to that where they at. It's because of their forefathers. They still didn't get it. I didn't say nothing about the mothers. I said the forefathers. And as you go all the way back, I kept telling them back then. But they want to make it look like it's today doing it to them. Or this place where they at doing it to them. No. It's you doing it to you. And when you finish doing it to you, you're doing it to 2, 3 to 4 generations of your children. What are you doing? Unrighteous. And mother has to pull up. So when they come talking about, and the mother and the women rule over them, he's not talking about, they talking to them those children that are oppressing, are oppressors, or the women are having to rule over them. And what happened? Then there's a war in the house. And this is why you got so many daughters and sons against the only one that been there for them since birth. That's who they are oppressing. And that's who they are killing. You see? That's what's going on. But you still have to go based on the Ruach. It would inform you that these things are coming from out of the lineage. When he ain't saying lineage as if blood, just blood, but those babies came out of the men womb. That's why these kids got these same ways. That's why we fell under the forefathers, and then we turned around and be worse than our forefathers. So you tell me where you at? Where you at? See, they don't never want to come here and really break that thing down. They only want to take you close to the edge and pull off and take off. They don't want to give you the truth of the whole matter. I had to get onto that one because that was one of my things about your children in your household. They okay with you for a certain degree, but once that identity of who they are start kicking in, let me tell you something. They're going to be a total different monster. It ain't gonna be the one you sent to college you had in gymnastics, you put in football and basketball, and you bought them everything, bought them their first car. No. These ain't gonna be the same one. Because why? The daddy, iniquity, and sin has to pull up. Woo, Father, didn't you say that? He said that way back in Torah. Way back in Torah. And you're gonna sit here on these devil platform and try to portray that he don't know what he talking about, but you do. That's deep. Let me get on another topic. And there was something about women exalting themselves above men. I think going back to where I see Judith gone, it's nothing a woman can exalt over a man. Judith got, more than 80% in the closet and out of the closet. What do you mean by that? A lot of our men in the tribe of Judah who sat back and they really don't, even those who said that we the people, we the true Jews, even them blind or in full denial that our nation of men are out there messing with men. Okay. So while we out here trying to protect it as if somebody's bothering our men, or and I mean this and I mean this, and that they ain't getting a chance to do this and that. Wait a minute. What do you think the kingdom is looking at right now? Right now. What is he seeing on the throne? Every last one of y'all will stand in front of y'all and tell him a lie of what's going on down here. But I'm the sister that can. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Because you know why I can't do it? I know he see it all. So I don't have the time nor the energy or the living to sit here and portray that it's not happening. Oh, it's nothing wrong with it. Oh, it's good. They didn't have a chance to do this, and they didn't have a father in the house. And baby, let me tell you something. You can have a father, or you can't have a father. It's what the father has within himself that he given to a son. So all this trash about having a father and don't have a father or having a father is a bunch of trash. It's what's in the mindset of the father. So it's all this trash is just y'all just talking out of y'all back in. So when it says exalt, it's such a way of using that to slander, to try to control, to manipulate, to belittle, and to put women in order. You see, it really is, because when you stand and talking about woman not supposed to exalt herself, what is a woman doing when you haven't took care of home? You out in the streets, you going, what the women used to tell me, a rolling stone up and down the street, because you think that y'all created you women for you. You really believe that? That's what they think, y'all. Because this is who teaches them. Men teaches them to believe you were created to do all this. They tell me, Deborah, you know, a man gonna be a man. See how their mindset thinks of a man? I told you they missed their identity in Genesis. They missed it a long time ago, what a man was created to be. Oh, we are a man. Well, that's a man. That we just that's the way men are. That's how they tell you. Just being a man. We just being a man. Well, wait a minute. Did you lose your identity in Genesis? Yes, because he never knew. Even to today, they don't know their identity. They don't know what's going on. They never did. And you know what? Y'all still gonna judge him on that, because he's gonna judge them based on what heaven created and knew about them, not what the earth dealt them. A lot of people say, oh, and the life dealt us a bad deal, or we got a bad deal, life dealt us a bad deal. And they really thinking that y'all gonna take that side and say, okay, you had a hard life, you had a bad life. If y'all look at the life of these families and really be able to, I know he will, I think he will show them who they were at the kingdom when they flashed before them while you was rolling your stone and stone was rolling you. Y'all was watching you all the time. You see? So, and as far as a woman exalting herself, y'all need to get away with that. Y'all need to sit that trash down. And a woman not supposed to be, you might as well sit that trash down, because guess what, bro? And guess what, sis? When he pulled that curtain back a little bit, just a little bit, you're going to wish you had a woman that exalt herself over you, or a man that is taking on a righteous leadership. Right now, nobody cares. They said when we'll catch that bridge when it's time to cross it, Deborah. That's the only time we're going to deal with it. Oh, yeah. It ain't going to be no bridge for you to cross. That's just your problem. You don't understand. This ain't no situation like it was yesterday. A lot of people say same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Let me back that up and back that thing down. He going to do a new thing. And that's something else they ain't teaching y'all. They ain't teaching you what he's going to do. And another thing, the exodus of yesterday, as they call it an exodus. I don't get tied up in that, but I'm just going to say it. That's the way y'all been taught. Exodus, the first exodus and the second exodus, and until the Ruach show you, totally different. Totally different. The whole destiny, everything, totally different. And this is what they don't understand, because they wrapping everything in their own self-understanding. And he said, lead not to your own understanding, but they said, hey, you shut up. We're going our route. We'll catch you on the other side. And that's the mindset of the people today. We're going to catch him on the other side. He ain't running nowhere, but you will. How about that? How about that? He ain't running nowhere for you could catch him, but you will. So I guess that ends my, oh no, I got one more. You know what he said? I tell you, yeah, that's another one. I got a little star by it. A little star by it. I don't know if y'all see it. You see it right here where I got a little star? That means I have to kind of expound on it. It's nothing to do with the word Jesus. It's nothing to do with the word Jesus. None of it. That's what the Spirit told me today. It's nothing to do with that. He says that's just one of the biggest scapegoats that many have found to escape out of what is righteous, what is spirit and truth. I told y'all. And I think that's probably why he gave me that, because he was right after I did my son's hair. And that's probably why he gave it to me, because he was telling me Jesus don't have nothing to do with it. That name is just something someone's using. And they're using it for both sides. He said, matter of fact, it's not just both sides, like left and right, but north, south, east, and west, up and down, any round. They're using it. And it has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And let me give you that example, then I'm out. That example I just told y'all, my son asked me to cut his hair. He's going somewhere out in another country, y'all, and I don't know where my baby going. I wish he wouldn't do me like that, because I feel like he doing it to me on purpose. And I want to cry. No, I don't. You better not. You better not shed a tear. But let me tell you what happened. So he said, he come over. He said, Mom, I need you to cut my hair and give me a line and cut my hair, because he had his dreads redone, and I had to cut his, all this here off and line it up. And I had to shave him and everything. So he comes over and I said, your flight leave at 6. What you doing over at 1, Jonah? You got to get out of here. And he said, and he don't do nothing in order, y'all. He don't do nothing like he should. And he really shouldn't be going. Y'all, let me tell you something. This young man shouldn't be going nowhere like he be going. It's like something, the Father says it's a spirit. And I believe I have accepted, I ain't don't believe it, I accept it as that. He just goes too many places, and he goes places he shouldn't be. He hasn't, my baby he don't grip the fact that you're not white. He don't understand that you can't trust him. You can't trust him. So where he's going, he don't know the language, he don't know nothing, but he just going. His oldest sister asked him, well, what made you pick that? Somewhere along the line, she might have told him he shouldn't, but he wanted to go. And I hate that he did. But as I was cutting his hair, and I forgot to show y'all what he did. I say, Jonah, take this here. It's a card with everybody's phone number and address. Put it in your wallet. Anything happen, they have all our numbers and everybody information. I said, I know y'all don't want to hear, y'all don't want to listen. I said, put that in your wallet. Do you have a migraine and your a leave? He didn't get the leave like I told him. I packed the migraine, etc. migraine, but this kid just don't want to follow order. And I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go. And as I was cutting his hair, I said, Jonah, no matter what situation you get in, Jonah, I don't care what the situation is. You get into a situation while you're out there, I want you to say, I call on the name of the God of my mother. I say, don't think of me. Because I know he's a baby boy. He's a mama's, he loved his mama. And I said, say, and I told him twice, you call on the name. Now, did I say name? No. You call on the God of your mother. Any situation you get in. And at that time, I'm cutting his hair. When I said that, all of a sudden, he started rubbing my stomach while I'm cutting his hair. When he does that, it's like saying, this is my mama. You see, it's a form of saying, this is my mama. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I told him to call on, it was to call, not the name. I said to call on the God of your mother. You know why, y'all? I know it ain't about the names y'all been hooping and hollering. I know it ain't about Jesus. I know it ain't about Christ. I know it ain't about Yahuwah or Yah. I know it ain't about Ahaya. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Because you can have all that name and not the power of who he is, the word and the spirit. You see what I'm saying? You can run around here and claim all the names you want. I double dare you get in a car accident and call on Yahuwah. See if he pull up. Ooh, Deborah, you're going to get yourself in trouble, girl. You're going to be in trouble. You better stop. Get yourself in some trouble. Call on Ahaya. Get yourself in trouble and call on Yahuwah. Get yourself in trouble and call on Yeshua HaMashiach. Get yourself in trouble and call on any name that you think is the name and see if you get some help. See, the help don't come on and come running from a name, baby. Anybody can say a name, but do you know him? Oh, Father, y'all. There's power in knowing who he is beyond the name you think you know. I sit back and I say, all these people keep saying the name. Did they switch the name out of here? All these books. All of the books. The name. Why did they switch the name out of all the books? Okay, they took the name out. What good is the name without the power? Huh? What good is it? Jesus can be used if you know who he is and his power. Y'all don't get it. You don't get it. You ain't there. My gifts came floating in me when I knew him as Jesus Christ. How about that? That little girl in that basement didn't even know his name, but I saw his power. How about that? How about that? You got to have him in the inner man, not the outer. And when my son called on the God that I know, let me tell you something. He gonna pull up. That is 100. So when I tell him that, do he know y'all? Do he know y'all? He know what I've told him, but do he know him? Do he know him? Do he know him? But if he trusts in the one that his mama know, the one that his mama know gonna pull up. Oh, Father, yeah, thank you, Father, yeah, thank you. You got to know him like that, y'all don't. You got to know him like that. There ain't no name on this earth. No name. No name is greater than who he is. He said he is greater is he. Wait a minute, hold up. That is in thee. Wait a minute, hold up. Can you kind of, what is his name? What is his name that's in thee? I didn't say nothing about my name. I want you to know I'm greater. You got to believe that thing from the inside. And if that young man get in the situation and he call on what his mother that knows the throne tell him, he call that name, that father coming off that throne. I know him that way, y'all. I know him that way. You see? That's the one I believe in. I don't know who you believe in. I don't know who you want to believe in, who you want to walk in, who you want to talk in, who you want to portray to believe and understand and all this. You go right ahead. But my son, if he get in any situation, call on the God of your mother. He'll meet you there. Because he's not calling on a name. He's not calling on God. He's calling on the power of he that sits on the throne. You see what I'm saying? And he's what? In a situation he believed enough about his mother having that connection with the Father that has all power. I wouldn't have a doubt that my father wouldn't pull up. The moment he spoke it, pull up. Well, wait a minute, hold up now, Deborah, hold up now, tell the truth, tell the truth. Well, okay, I'll tell him the truth. Tell him the truth, Deborah, tell him the truth. Well, I already asked the Yah to put a shield around him. How about that? How about that? You see what I'm talking about? Satan told Yah. Satan told Yah. Satan told Yah. I ain't finna do nothing to Job. You got something around him. No, I ain't finna mess with him. I ain't even thinking about Job. Matter of fact, not only do you have something around Job, you have it around his family, his children, everything he owned. How about that? How about that? Wait a minute, hold up. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Hey, Abraham, tell him what it's like. Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot spent many years down in that chaos. What are he doing coming up out of there? Abraham. All right. Y'all goes to Abraham, telling him it's not one is in there that's good to worth a dime. Not none. Abraham dropped the numbers. He said, no, it ain't none. If it was, I would save it. Ain't none. But I tell you what, I got Lot and his family. Tell you that. I get him out. That's who I'm. So you just understand. I'm gonna pull yours out. Who is Lot? I think he was his cousin or his father's brother's son, which is still his cousin. But Lot or nephew, was it something like that? His cousin, I think. But that's the connection Lot and Abraham had. Y'all was doing it on behalf of Abraham. How you like him now? Lot shouldn't have came out of Sodom and Gomorrah. No way. He should have destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah like he did his wife, his children, and Lot. Leave them in there. Y'all said, wait a minute, Deborah, I play both hands. I play both hands. I'm going down because Abraham's heart is for Lot. You see? I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to bring them out. That's the sort of creator I come to know. When you get to know him like that, you can say the things in which I say with a bold sound and an upright mindset in it. You see? That's who I serve. I don't know who y'all deal with. I don't know this one y'all serve. Y'all deal with, huh? That ain't. We deal with different ones. So Sister Deborah, hope that you got something out of it. That's it. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Somebody got on here. Soon as you think it, you show right. I like that, because that is so true, y'all. It is so true. So I like that, because that is so true. You have to know him like that. He got to know you like that too. How about that? So Sister Deborah, anybody in the live chat, if you happen to have any questions, you got a few minutes for anyone who might have a question or might have an answer. How about that? But when I was my son, he rubbed my belly. He was rubbing my belly. That's my mama, you know. And I know that when he does stuff like that, that's what he said. That's my mama, you know, because I told him, you know, in a sense, let him know that, you know, my got you covered, bro. Just call on him. You see? I don't know, y'all. It's just, I do know. That's the thing about it. When I say I don't know, it's because I do know. Okay? So I thank the Father for that. And I'm going to show you another one with that as far as, I used to hoop and holler, y'all, and I did. And I know I should not. I felt so sad. This was right after I was called as a prophetess. I used to pray and just say, Father, please save my children. Please, don't let nothing happen to my babies. And don't let nothing happen to me. I don't want to leave my babies. Oh, Father, I don't want to leave my babies. And the Father told me, well, wait a minute, hold up. What's all that about? What is all that about? I said, Father, I got too many children. I don't want to leave them behind. Please don't let nothing happen to me and leave my babies behind. He said, hold up. What's all that about? And you all, when he dealt with me on that, this sister backed up. I mean, all the way up. And he told me, he said, Deborah, how long have I been with you? Mm-hmm. And I went on and said it. And he said, well, okay. Have you taught them what I've taught you? Have you given them what I've given you. I said, yeah. He said, well, hold up. So you concerned about leaving them. But I tell you this, continue to give them everything I've given you. So if and when you are gone, not only will they have me, they'll have you. Ooh-wee. But don't ever say hold back so that they can have you. You give them me. And if they have me, they're going to have you. No other way. So you give them me. And if you give them me, they will always have you, even when you sleep in your grave. He don't want to hear that mess. He don't want to hear all that. Because the first and foremost these children should have is him. So if you leave, they still have him. And if they have him, they got you. And that's all he was assuring me. As long as you give them me, they shall always have you. And that's the way you do it. Don't come telling me to let you live and so you don't take you from your kids. I don't rumble that way. You give them what they need to have regarding me. And if you go, then they'll have me. And if they have me, I will give them you. Don't put your shoes on backwards. Don't put your shoes on backwards. Don't put your shoes on backwards. So that's another one that he gave me. Someone says they have a question. Okay. And he still rebellion. Okay. Is he in the home? Watch this. I'm going to answer your question. Is your son, okay, and he still rebellion. Okay, now we got to go back to you now. We're going to kick all that aside. We're going to put son to the side. We're going to have to deal with you. Okay? Now, what's going on with the son? It's what's going on with your father and his father. Okay? And what was going on that was hidden in the dark that never came to light? Mama never shared it. Daddy maybe never shared it either. But it rests in you. So the rebellion of that son is from what the father has hidden that never brought it to light. And this is why the power of the right hand of the father allowed that which was hidden in the father to remain in the son until the father addressed what it was, so that the curse itself can be released and broken from the son, so the son can be set free. The baby ain't born with it. He didn't do it. He didn't create it. It was created in him. The problem ain't the baby. And I'm calling it the baby because it came from the man. Okay? And until the father addressed the issue, the issue by saying, going to the son, sitting down, listening to what he said, and dealing with it, measuring it. Tell that bad boy, tell that son, wait a minute, son. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was like that. Woo, Father, yeah. I remember my daddy saying that. I remember my brother had that same way my son is today. See, and until that man break that generational curse, It cannot and will not and shall not be broken. That's why we still over here. We didn't even break the generation curse. We took them 400 years and became worse than our forefathers. And we ain't coming up out of this land, y'all. Only the small remnant. Tell it, Deborah. You see? So, what? Okay, the dad was not there. The dad was there. Your dad was always there. He's in you. This is what he says. The world. Let me show you where the world agrees with Yah. Let me say that again. The world agrees with what Yah says about the generational, about the lineage, the iniquity and the sin of the father. You know why the world? They call it generational curse. How about that? That's what they call it, because they know for sure the ways of the children is of the father. They know that. What James Brown say, this is a man's world, and that's what the man has done, messed it up. Took on Satan's right hand and messed it to the floor. And now one of them want to break the generational curse. They want to look over here at woman and say she's the problem. And then once you sit down with the son and you hear him, the son will break you up. The son will break your butt down, because he'll tell you some things and you'll sit there and say, wait a minute, I remember that. I mean, I think I did that. He's leading you back to your father. See, that's what the men didn't know. They didn't know, and nor did they understand, because they didn't have the spiritual father leading and guiding them. So when they don't have a spiritual father that leading and guiding them, and then they don't have a natural father that's leading and guiding them, they blame everybody else to be the fault, except for what they never had in their life. You have to be able to go back to daddy by going back to yourself. Sit down with that son and let that son tell you who you are and who your daddy is. How about that? Because that son can tell you who you are and your daddy. Your son can tell you who you are and your daddy that you reject. Your son can tell you who y'all are. And you can be in full denial because your daddy went in your life. But your son, it still rained down the sun. It still came down. It ain't escaping, said the Most High Yah. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to come up to the throne. Oh, no, it ain't going nowhere. But the world, watch the here goes Satan in his. The world, you know what they call it? Generational curse. What's this generation? What do you mean generation? Wait a minute. Where y'all getting that mess from? Where that mess come from? Where did generational curse come from? What a generational coming down that bloodline. Where does that curse come from? Because no one wants to own that thing. Number one, you go to your son to tell you who your daddy is. But first and foremost, before he can tell you who your daddy is, he got to tell you who you are. And once he tell you who you are, then you understand who you are is who your daddy is. It's just being able to own that thing. Once a man can own it, he can break all the generational curses from every child he ever had on down the line. Can't touch it. The curse is broken. Because you got to own that thing. That son sit down and talk with you. No. You know, it's not so fun. It's not so much as you ugly. Hear him. Hear him tell you who he is, what he doing, how he feel. And you're going to say, wait a minute, that sound like me. I'm saying I'm ugly, but that sound like me too. Everything my son said, you try it and come back and tell Sister Deborah about it. You sit down and you talk to him one-on-one. Tell him you tired of talking. You want to hear him. Tell him I ain't got nothing to say, bro. I need to hear you. I need to hear you. Let him throw that thing down. And he going to tell you everything that you done when you was a young man on down. He'll sit there and tell you this is what's rumbling in him. He's trying to fight the generational curse, y'all. He's trying to fight the sin of the forefathers. And look what they have to deal with. Not knowing where it come from, because our men won't own that thing. They won't take it the way y'all say, the righteous way. Train them up in the righteous way. Train them to know what is right. Why? You can't train them up to know that it's right if you haven't faced your wrong to get right. You got to face your wrong. It's in that son. You know how many men way older than I am? When I talk to them and I begin to tell them who their father who their father, brother is, they be saying, ain't no way in the world you should know that. I know it. I wasn't there. That's not my family. That's yours. But I'm telling you, they trying to figure out, how do you know? How did you know that? I knew that, but how did you know that, man? Oh, see, yeah, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure it out now, ain't you? See? It's all the same. Not just you, but it's with all men. This is called, the world calls it generational curse. They know it exists. They know exactly that it exists. Y'all wanted us to understand where it come from, how it's coming, and which way it's going. Tonight, look into the biblical. I ain't got the verses here. Look in there and see where he says a man's foe is in his household. It'll blow your mind. Well, wait a minute. What you mean? What do you mean? He's letting you know your enemy is in your household because you birthed them. And then he tells a man, he said, and your children, you think I come to bring the, what did he say? You think I come to, he said he come to bring the sword between. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, Father? Y'all, bro? Come on. What you mean? I come to bring the sword. To divide the spiritual ones from the serpent seed. Where are they at? In a household. Man didn't birth them. You see? That's why I say a father's job is the biggest position on the face of the earth, y'all. It is the most biggest position on the face of the earth. Women ain't got nothing on the father. Ain't got no position. They taking position that didn't belong to them. They ain't got nothing on the father's job. That Yah, not mother, not grandmama, not granddaddy, but what the Most High Yah is holding them liable for. They got the biggest position on the face of the earth. And that could be a reason why they keep turning every way except for the right way, because they don't want to tackle that position. Because it is. It's the biggest position. I used to think it was a mother. When the father broke that thing to me, I said, Father, that job is big. It's heavy. Yes, it is. That's why they didn't know why he created man first. See, if they only think, well, why are we all that special? No, you ain't nothing. Listen what he's putting on you. This is why you was created first. You will never hear a Hebrew Israelite man teach and preach that heaviness and tell them guys in the camp and tell them in the academy and tell them in these churches and tell them the righteous reason why you was created first, because he's holding you liable for the whole overall. There you go. See how you say it was your grandfather? It can be found. See, what I'm saying is, okay, you know why you're telling the truth about what you're saying, the way you broke that down? Let me show you where it's at. You remember he said, I didn't come to bring a mother and father, a father and son, nor a mother and father, together. He said, I come to bring the sword. And then he said, in a man's house, you're going to have 2 against 3. This is how you broke this up. You broke that up to that verse. Now that's in there by 6 times, but you broke this up into that verse by saying, my father was a great father. And outside didn't understand why my brother was rebellion, because they knew my father was a good man, but it was my grandfather in my brother. You see, it came somewhere. You see what I'm saying? It's got to come out. And even though it might have skipped daddy, it doesn't mean that it's coming, it didn't come out of the bloodline of daddy. Now, this is where the problem is at. Let me kind of show you something about that. Let me ask you this question. What did daddy do that made him good? And define good as to represent your father. Because he could be what you say good, which is good, but his ways came from his father, could have still been in him, during the time that you did not know him to be as he is to you, good. And that's where a lot of people mess up too, because what the men tell me, this is what they tell me. Oh, but yeah, I did some things when I was young, Deborah. Yeah, I did that too. Yeah, you sure right about that. Yep, my son is just like that. You see what I'm saying? They can go back to when they did do it, but now they're not like that. You get what I'm saying? They don't do it today, but they can go back and tell you when I was 13 and 14 and 15 and 16, I did the same thing my son is doing today. You see what I'm saying? And when I did it, my son wasn't born. So you might not have seen the good of who your daddy is, because I got an opportunity to say the same thing. We came up, it was 7. My mother and dad had 7 children, and we all was happy. They used to call us the Black Leave It to Beaver. You know, we had it together, a little family. But when I found out one thing, and it wasn't that it was bad or anything, but I saw where it come from in our family. I saw something that had come, and I didn't need my mama, my daddy, my sister, my brother, his brothers, nobody to tell me. I saw it in the spirit realm, and I recognized it. I recognized it. And when I spoke of it in a conversation years later to my mom, she would say, how did you know that? That's what my mom said. I would tell you something. The Spirit of the Most High will work with you. The Spirit of the Most High will work with you. Would you say you've been working ever since that? I don't blame you. See? Yep. And owed him something. Now, see how you said that instant? You see how you connect to your dad? There go your grandbaby. I mean, not your grandbaby, your son, playing that same role. Now, if your mother is alive, if your mother's alive, then if you could hear her tell you what was your daddy really like, then you can also still yet connect that to your son. You see what I'm saying? Because you might say that my dad was a lazy and didn't want to work. Your mother probably could give you even more insight, and this is best, and it can also get you to understand who your son is. Okay, because y'all said it ain't gonna escape y'all. He said we really think like this curse. We running around. You got our Negro men now saying that curse is not us. That's a lie. We are trying to escape everything that Yah send to his prophets or to his vessels to give us. I'm not going to give you this book and tell you this book is 100. I can't tell you that because I got to know the word. If you want to take this book to be the word, you go right ahead. I found the word that lives in me, which is Yah, to be greater than this book. So that leads me to understand is that I got to hear what he says about what is being said. And honestly, I have talking to, like I said, I talk to elderly men about their past and their father, and they would vouch and tell any of y'all, the ones that I talk to, they'll tell you, well, yeah, it came on down my father because my father's father was like that. I heard about them. Mama used to talk about it, and grandma and my dad told us about it, and here it is, my son up being, it comes down. I dare y'all to sit and deny that the curses don't come down. And that's what Judah do. How do you think Solomon and Gomorrah come all down? How did Yeshua know about Solomon and Gomorrah? Why was he talking about it? Yeshua says it's going to be like the days of Noah and the days of Solomon and Gomorrah. How did he know? Because it came on down. And that's what you see today. A product of yesterday that was hidden one way or another. And here we stepping in it today acting like, when we didn't understand it came down that bloodline. Just like it said, the sins and the iniquity of the father, 3 to 4 generations. Back up, back right back in. Why? Because the 3 and 4 generation, they carried it another 3 and 4. And the next one carried it another one, 3 and 4. The curse was never broken. Only you yourself can break the generational curse, as the world calls it. Now, this is the sad thing about it. Everybody bowed down to the generational curse. But nobody wants to bow down to the fact that it has been said that the sins in which you see today is the product of the fathers yesterday. And that I will come and deal with this sin. I would come and it would go 3 to 4 generations. And once it's still going on, it keeps going on. But what we do, we want to hide that. Devil, put a cover over that, girl. Put a cover over your mouth. Don't say that. I'm going to tell you what it come down to. You wake up and you trying to scratch your head and say, Dad, what did I do? What did I go wrong? I did this. I did this. I did and you realize, wait a minute, what did I go wrong? What could I have done? So I, as a prophetess in the wilderness, I thank the Father for allowing me to embrace it and not be ashamed of it, but embrace it because this is not something that started today. It's a product of yesterday. It had already warned us, and we still. And that's why I tell y'all, we do not accept Deuteronomy 28. We talk it. Oh, Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy, but we don't have no respect for it and the power that rests in what it says. Because we are not here because it's Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David. He's telling us you're here because of your forefathers. The sin, the iniquity, the stiff-necked rebellion, the disobedient, the sin, the iniquity, the whoremongering, and all this other stuff he said. And we ignore all that, go over our head. Oh, the way these things are today, it's these women. It's amazing. It's powerful. And that's how Satan is winning the world over. Oh, he winning them over. And y'all sitting here saying, see, I told you it's over, Deborah. It is not meant for you to think that you're going to convince them to see the light. The light cannot be seen by them if I haven't given them the light to see or put the light in them to direct them in this darkness. So they can't get out of what they're in, even if they try. So playing both hands, one with the other. So I, Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. And you need to try sitting down talking with your son and hearing. You know how he said, be quick to listen and slow to speak. Because I think in that process with your son, you'll learn something. You'll learn that any ways of him came from somewhere. A lot of times what our men are looking for is someone, father or a brother, or if a male friend, to tell them, you know what, I see what you're going through. I've gone through that too. Give them some sort of connection to, I got what you're saying. I see what you're saying because I went through this, or I went through it, or my brother, or my cousin, or my uncle, or my son, or my father, or my grandfather. I remember, but when these men get out here and act like, oh no, this is not the norm for us. This is not it. This is not it. This is not, oh no, this can't be going on. It's impossible. It's impossible for a woman to raise a son in her tradition and in her law. The Father said, it says in your instructions in about direction, obey your father and keep your mother law. Because a mother law is, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. It's tradition. and you start them up young enough to take it out the trash at 4 and 5, just put it in a little trash can outside the door. And then as they get older, they get to taking it out. When they get up to that time where it's time for their life, they inside to switch over. Oh no, it's about to tell who they are. And it's going to go up against your traditions, Mom. It's going to go up against your law. Because now what's in them is they're going to go up against it, who they are. And that's why it was so important that the Father wanted the men to understand this. If you train them up in the way they should go, which is righteous, because it's coming from you, and your liability from the throne and your responsibility from the throne is to train them up in the righteous way. Why is he putting that charge on men? Because they're coming from you. You see? And they need a light, which is righteous. So they can what? In the way they should go. See in the way they should go. But what they decided to do, bring them forth. Have them. They're yours. I'm leaving. No responsibility, no liability, no nothing. And this is what you see in the word today. See, a lot of them, they can teach and preach to y'all all day and all night. And I still say you're lost with the cause and without it. Because the truth be told, he knew what he wanted to be said so you can understand. Train them up in the way. A woman can't train who the seeds were given to. She can set a law and her tradition, but she can't train. Why? Because when they get to where their body is switching from young adult from a child to a young adult, who they were in your womb of who you were and your father is, then guess what? It goes up against the tradition of mama and her laws in the house. Now mama's their worst enemy, because they didn't have the one that they come from to train them up in another way outside of the way in which he lived, or which his father lived, and which is because it's righteous that y'all was saying. Show them the right way, men. These are your seeds. I'm going to check you at the throne. I gave these seeds to you. They weren't hers. That's why I wanted you to train them up. You decide to do exactly what Adam did. Take off his crown, lay it on the ground, and took off. No responsibility, but what y'all said y'all did, he did. He didn't take the crown off when Eve was present. Eve wasn't even created. Adam took his crown off before then. And this is what you see today. These men talking about these gangs and these gang banging, they got them from you. These kids are mimicking you. And now you run around saying, oh, they doing this and they doing this. Look at what they doing. And these women raising these boys wrong. Baby, can't no woman raise a boy. You know why? Because y'all made him a man. And how did he make him a man? Out of you. You are the seed carrier. Woman can't raise no man. Woman can't raise no daughter. They ain't hers to raise. They come from the one, the womb you held. Your ways, your action, your everything is in these children. And this is why the women, Isaiah 3:12, is left with the children oppressing her. Because the father ain't been there. But then you tell the world, Judith run to tell these loudmouth, no good men. Judith run tell the world and the heathens, especially the Europeans. And guess what? That's why they don't like black men. Because they don't have no integrity, no morals, no standards about what they say and how they do things. And they get mad, talking about they bothering them. Ain't nobody bothering you. Y'all letting them put their foot on your neck, their hands on your neck, and anything they want to put on you. Because y'all see your ugliness. He see you are not in order with what he done gave you. So how you like him now, still in the land of your captives, thinking you set free. You see? The house of Israel It's messed up from the floor. And these are the things they won't teach you. But then they want to go down in Chicago, downtown area, and call them white people all kind of names. Stand on them corners and tell them, and then tell their brothers, y'all committing, you breaking y'all's law because you ain't got fringes on. You say I sick. You tell me that ain't sick, Judith. That's a sick mind. And here your sons and daughters that came out of your bowels. You won't even sit down and talk to them. You won't even instill any righteousness in them. Do y'all know 99.9 of these Hebrew Israelite men don't even sit and school their children? They don't train their children in the way that they should go. Did y'all know that? I know y'all didn't. So our sister Deborah said, I'll be back. Oh, yeah, I'll be back. And I hope everyone got something out of it. And I will be back. Shalom and shalom.